Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. Would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket.
Well, the South London traffic did its best to keep us at bay, but we have run up the hill like Kate Bush and made it to Sydenham. Right at the last moment, there will be a little bit of puffing and harumphing as old men settle down into their seats. Good morning, good afternoon, good dawn, good dusk, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Guerrilla Cricket. I'm Gorilla Hendo, Nigel Henderson, and we have the second of 4 T20 internationals between England and New Zealand. As you can tell, I'm beginning to run out of steam already. The news is that England have won the toss and tonight will bat. And they give a debut to Gus Atkinson. He comes in rather curiously for Luke Wood, who you would have thought might have got an outing at his home ground, Old Trafford, but it's not to be. And New Zealand go in with an unchanged 11 after their, well, it has to be said, a bit of a battering at Chester Street on Wednesday night. With me to start things off this evening, I have on my right none other than the incredible presence of an incredible man. It's the Bear.
It is me. Good evening. How are you doing?
Not too bad, apart from a little bit puffed out.
I really thought I was going to have to be on air on my own.
I thought that would have been fun. You were going to sit there for 10 minutes and discuss this match with
yourself.
Well,
I wasn't. See, I planned to go on leave myself about 3 minutes of waffle time after the thingamajig. That's why we're on air so late. We've got 2 minutes till they start.
Exactly. Don't have to do any of that nonsense punditry that you hear on other stations. On my left, he was delayed in Crystal Palace by some rather uncooperative buses, but finally has made it in a fantastic shirt of covered in lemons, by the way. Not literal lemons, but sort of painted lemons. It's Jason G. Hiscox.
Good evening, everybody.
He's your man with the socials in his hand, so you will be communicating to us through him initially for the first 5 overs. And England go out to bat with Johnny Bairstow and Will Jack. Shall we jingle the England batsman up there?
Well, yeah, we can do.
What's your problem? You got a bit of a problem?
Well, this is where I get annoyed. See, Gus Atkinson's, not that we need him now, it was sent to my personal email, and I can't get my personal email on this computer.
Oh dear.
So you've got to wait till the off-air and in the...
Go back into the green room and sort it all out.
Exactly.
I don't know. The trials and tribulations
I
of being
ask
a
for
guerrilla
these
commentator.
You can't get the staff, can you, these days?
To be fair, they do a lot of good work. Don't upset Mog or Perko.
He'd even run a 10 at Bradford Park Avenue. No other Yorkshireman can compare. I tell you, Johnny Best is smarter than the average bear.
And he's opening with this man.
He's opening with this man, isn't he?
How long he's here for? Slips off before the bill. Will Jack's last long after COVID? If you want him to his will.
First ball of the day is bowled, in fact. It has already been bowled by Adam Milne. He gets a considerable amount of swing. And there's an inviting gap left by Johnny Bairstow as he plays that and gets a bit of thick inside edge onto it to keep it out.
You could say that for the last decade, pretty much, for Johnny Bairstow. There's an inviting gap there.
Yeah, but that
This
was
man bowling?
that was inviting. I don't know. He's in again. He bowls and that swings and goes between bat and pad on bat and waist because it bounces over the top of the stumps, but it really did move again. So he's getting the ball to go a little bit, so that'll be encouraging for Milne. We decided last night, or the other night, that he's a little bit quicker than you'd expect.
If that's your definition of a little, I'd like to see what your definition of a lot is.
Well, that was great in swing. Jimmy would have been proud of that. Is he
But
bowling from Jimmy's end? He might well be bowling from Jimmy's end.
But he's bowling that over the top of the stumps length, which means that it looks very good, but you can leave it on length almost.
Yeah, although you don't leave too many in this form of the game. Oh, now what's happened there? He's appealing for LBW. Bairstow was trying to clip it away on the leg side. I think that's a good shout, actually.
I think he smashed that off the inside edge into his
do you
pad.
think so?
But
they're going to ask about it.
It's also
aren't they?
the amount of swing they're thinking he might miss leg stump.
No, they're going to have a look at it.
They've gone for it.
They're going to have a look at it. The Bear won't be able to play the jingle because he's doing other things at the moment. Decision has been reviewed. It has gone upstairs, as they say.
I think that might be umpire's call, given the amount of deviation he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, it could have done a bit too much, although it was very full. I suspect if he hasn't got an edge on that, he could be in a little bit of trouble. Just tried to move down the wicket a bit. Ooh, it's hit the back leg.
Gone too far, hasn't
Has it gone too far?
I think so. Look, it's boomeranging.
It is boomeranging. It may just be missing leg stump.
It's not hit it, I don't think, anyway.
Hasn't hit it. But it is the back leg.
It's all down to ball tracking now.
It is all on ball tracking. I think probably you're right there, but I think it's probably going to have done just a little bit too much.
Oh, I don't know.
It is missing. It's missing by a couple of inches in the end, so the swing that defeated Bairstow actually defeats Milne in the end. And it's not out. England none for none. Johnny Bairstow will be pleased about that because, of course, after hitting his first ball for 4 at Chester Street, he was then caught in the wide slip, as New Zealand are operating with again tonight. It's a wide slip, almost a fine gully. But at the moment, he's finding it very difficult to put bat on ball. Such is the deviation that Milne is finding. Now he's just got to signal to someone behind the arm to sit down. Johnny Bairstow will be ready again.
Chewing gum furiously at the moment.
Indeed, needs to concentrate hard. In comes Milne again, bowls, and he tried to get the one to go the other way. Johnny Bairstow's herring up the other end. He's going to have to put in the dive, and throw comes in, and it doesn't hit the wicket. Now, what was Johnny Bairstow saying to Adam Milne there? He was having a word with him. He said, "How are you getting the ball to move quite that much?" But finally, one that more or less went straight on. Oh, Well, I think he might have just been in. He put the dive in. I think he would have
I
been
think
there.
that's a charitable description of what he said to him. I think he had a slightly more base element to it.
Oh, as in get out of my way. He was standing maybe in the direct line that Johnny Bairstow wanted to take to complete the run. So he might have been saying something about that. But the bowler is entitled to stand there. So England underway, 1-0. Jack's down to face. Mill looking for a big in-swinger to him, but he drives it really well. Square on the offside, finding the gap immediately, finding the middle of the bat immediately. England move to 5.
4.
1, 2, 3,
He's saying, Johnny, I don't know what your problem is.
4.
That's the way to do it. Wait for it, play it late, and keep your back close to your pad.
That really is a textbook definition of playing it underneath your eyes, isn't it? It
Very
couldn't have
nicely
been any more under his eyes.
And he didn't really have to hit it very hard, did he? The pace of the ball did the rest, really. Final ball of Milne's over. He's in again, outside the off stump, but he's beaten him this time. Started wide, a little bit shorter than perhaps he wanted. Came back in, but not quite enough. That is the end of the first over. England have moved to 5 for no wicket. Who has joined us?
We have Dave
Twittersphere?
Wood, who has gone all John Fashioner, and he says, Aruga, one and all.
Aruga.
Yes, from Gladiators.
Okay.
Josie Oak says, evening, I see Gorilla Towers is looking more and more like a sad taproom of a pub that only sells Watley's Red Barrel. Is that my shirt or the beers?
I've got Moretti.
He's got canned Moretti. I've got real Moretti. Oh no, someone's ringing the bell. Hang on. I didn't think that I locked Tony out. I'm sure I left the door open. So maybe it's
Steve.
maybe it's Steve. Tim Southey is going to bowl the other opening over, the second over of the day. He's got a wideish slip, a little bit closer to the wicketkeeper, and he's got a ring of 4 from backward point round to mid-off. And he's into Bairstow, who plays nicely off the back foot, crunches it into the covers, but unfortunately for him, picks up Mitchell Santner at extra cover and is denied any runs. Having a little bit of trouble with the connection today. It just seems to be breaking up every now and again, doesn't it?
I presume it's transmission from Manchester, but hey, you never know. This man's bowling.
He's so pretty, that Tim Southey. He's so pretty and witty and bright. But Tim Southey's not as pretty as Kane Williamson.
4 on the floor, and one more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4s are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
I'll be feeling pretty angry. I don't know about pretty. That's just been hoisted down the ground by Johnny Bairstow. No mid-off, but even if there had been, he wouldn't have been in any real danger. The mid-off that is there is wide, almost round to extra cover. He's in again. Now he's got a bit of a top edge to this one as he tries to work it down to long leg, but there's nobody there. The man from deep backwards square comes round and they will get back for a second. Bairstow moves to 7, England to 11 for no wicket. Jacks has 4, and we already have a naked fun porn bot. What do we call them? I forgot what we call them.
Super Chat.
Super Chat, in
Super
memory
Chat
of
game.
Ravi Nair. Of course, we are, well, in memory of Ravi, who sadly died at the end of July. One of our greatest supporters with us from the Test match sofa days. Into the pads this time. Bairstow tries to work it, makes no contact, but it's a spring a long way from his pad towards extra cover. There is no run. We are supporting a cause which we think would have been close to his heart. He was a big lover of cats, and of course our White Line Wireless fans in Australia, also commentators in Australia, run the Sugar and Spice Cat Rescue Centre from the very place that they commentate from, and we thought we'd try and raise money to support their work. Steve is here. In comes Southey. Onto the back foot goes Bairstow, chops it down into the ground, a little bit worried that it's going to bounce up and then down onto his wicket, so he makes sure he covers all eventualities, and in the end it doesn't. There is no run. So if you would like to donate to that cause, and I should say that another of our supporters, Warren, is going to match anything up to $400 over the period of these 4 T20 internationals. If you would like to donate, go to PayPal, do it, and put Ravi Ravi next to your donation, and that will ensure it goes to the right place. Southey in again, bowls to Bairstow, better ball into his legs. He plays it up to mid-on, and he scampers through for a single. The end part of that over was better from Southey, and England after 2 are 12 for no wicket.
Can I just read the super chat, because that's the whole point. I'm supposed to read the whole thing.
Oh, yes.
In memory of Ravi Nair, during the T20 I will be juggling 3 kittens and a bottle of vodka, which I will consume without harming any of the cats. Hashtag Tony's cat flap. Thank you very much, GC Naked Pornbot. And yeah, please do that. It'd be nice to fund some cats in Australia.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're all for that.
And Leah, who is not listening to us today, but says that she'll be doing a warm-up stream for the game on Sunday.
Okay.
And that's up to date, pretty much.
Now we're looking at the amount of swing that Milne was getting in his first over, and I think 1.9 degrees, his 5th ball, was the swingiest of them all. But we did see a big difference, wasn't it? Was it in the swing, or I think it was in the turn that England got.
And New Zealand
at Chestnut Street, and New Zealand got it, because we thought with Ish Sodhi and Mitchell Santner to come that New Zealand would have a chance when England.
Well, Santner's never been a big
139.
turner, but you'd expect something from Ishodi being a
Well,
leggy.
the only wicket Sodhi got really was a pull down that Jacks hit twice to deep
Yes.
square leg.
That's right, yes,
That was a shit gets wicket delivery.
it was a shit gets wicket delivery. It was a shit shot, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hit it
Milne,
twice.
anyway. Second over from him into Bairstow, standing erect. He plays defensively into the offside, and single is prevented by a very compact field there.
Tell me something. Is that kind of brown weirdness in their shirts? That's actually in the shirt? Oh no, that's the gold lion, isn't it? It's supposed to be anyway. It just
There's a lion in there, is there?
there's something in there. It looks like they. I was trying to figure this out in the last game when someone dived in, whether that was just mud on his top or it was actually in the bloody shirt. It's in the shirt.
So it's just something to make you pay 80 quid for it.
That'll be it, yeah.
But it
That'll be
looks like shit.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, does it? We got terrible reception tonight, I have to say. Outside the off-stump controlled cut by Johnny Bairstow. He's certainly going to get 2. Is that Mark Chapman coming around there? I think it is. And they'll get back comfortably enough. They were thinking about a 3rd as the throw came in, but although it was a little bit awry, I don't think they would have had time for that. So England move on to 14 for no wicket. It's a very nice shot from Johnny Bairstow. Looks
Yeah.
like a packed crowd at Old Trafford, and why wouldn't it be on a Friday night? What else is there to do in Manchester on a Friday night? The Bear will tell you, because he's been there.
Well, yeah, that was a long time ago.
I don't suppose that much has changed in that respect.
Well, the Hacienda shut down. That's where I used to go.
What, with this time of night?
Well, it wouldn't be open at this time.
No,
of
I was
night.
going to say. Milne in again to Bairstow. Bairstow pulls, and he's given that a short-arm treatment. He's really got hold of it. That's one of Johnny's great shots. And it's away for 4 runs. Excellent stuff. I love that shot. There's just no follow-through, really, is there?
No.
And it's just the pace of the hands through the ball.
Yeah.
It's only ended up being 1 bounce, I think, as well, even though it's gone very flat.
I'm not sure if it's a plan, but the ball doesn't seem to be swinging this over at all.
Strange, isn't it? Yep, 1 over of swing, and now it's ruined, this ball. Milne in again, full of ball. He's always... Oh, goodness me, what's happening there? They're thinking about a single. Johnny Bairstow was torn between trying to take the single to a ball that hadn't gone very far and actually turning and stopping it, rolling it back onto his stump. So he's definitely in 2 minds there. And in the end... it didn't roll back onto the stump, so they just stopped short by 2 or 3 inches. But he wasn't able to take the run either. It's come down off his arse, basically. Chopped it into the ground as he was on the move, and it hits him in the crack to bear, and nearly rolls back onto the stumps. So entertaining stuff, which just results in a dot going down in the scorer's book. And Milne has the ball back and bustling in again. Bowls a full ball that cuts back off the seam a little bit. And Johnny Bairstow was... he started off trying to drive it, and as it came back to him, he ended up chopping at it, but made no contact whatsoever. It went through the keeper. There is no run. 18 for no wicket. 1 ball remaining in the 3rd over. 6 overs, of course, in the T20 International Powerplay. Batting power play. when only 2 fielders are allowed outside the circle. And the ball is back with Adam Milne. Tim Southey just wanders across from mid-off to have a word with him, then runs back into position. And Milne comes in again, bowling to Bairstow. Bairstow again trying to cut, but it's a little bit too close to him, and he chops it into the ground, and then to Santner at extra. That is the end of the over. 3 overs bowled. England going to run 6 and over, 18 for no wicket.
Warren Davis has tweeted us, or X'd us, or whatever it's called now,
Tweet.
this week. He said, afternoon, all Hendo's body's looking very present today after
yes.
his green screen nightmare.
Disappearing act the other night, yes.
And Messages is with us, and he says, evening all, don't forget to join me in my quest to miss the GPL again by 1 run.
We should mention the GPL. Good point. I'm glad you brought it up.
It's open.
It is open, and it was 56 quid to start
61.
59 it was.
with. 61 now, is it?
Yep.
I think he missed out by 1 run, didn't he? Messages
Yeah,
the
he
other
did
night.
miss that. He's in tonight again. 283, 293, 303 and 313.
And you've got about 10 minutes, I think, probably to do it. 10 to 15.
We've got 40 minutes in total from the beginning of the game. So 20 to 7 would be the cut-off time. And to enter, you have to estimate how many runs will be scored in the day. That's the aggregate of both teams batting. Go to gorillacricket.com, competition, follow the instructions. You could win £61 for a stake of £1. Or more, of course. The more of you that take part, the bigger the pot becomes. Mitchell Santner is coming into the attack. A bit of spin early on. He's going to be bowling to Will Jacks. Left arm round the wicket, and the first ball breaks up on us again. This stream that we're getting at the moment, defended to extra by Jacks. There is no run. He has 4. He's only faced 3 balls now. Bairstow's had the bulk of the strike. He's got 14 from 16, and Santner is in again. Bowls to Jacks. Goes back. He's going to take a single as he guides that through mid wicket. Fielded by Captain Southey now at mid on.
Should we have a little jingle?
Yeah.
Santner baby, get some drift into the pads for me. Been an awful good Kiwi. Santner baby, and dart them in quickly tonight.
Ring of 4 on the offside. No mid-off. Extra cover is the furthest round. As Santner is in again. He's making room for himself there, Bairstow, and then he heaves it through the leg side. He's really whacked that. Plenty of time. Opened himself up and puts it away to Cow for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Kind of gave himself room, so you think he might be going to cut this through the offside, but it came in towards his legs, and he just let it come round and then biffed it.
That really needs a Jeremy Clarkson power jingle.
Santner Fuller. Oh, he gives himself room again there, and then it's going to cut straight off the stumps. Was
Nearly got under the
yeah,
bat, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? It nearly sneaked its way through.
Slid
and
on.
Johnny smiles, possibly in recognition of that fact. 23 for no wicket. He's on to 18 now. 18 at a runner ball. Santner in again, and this time he plays a conventional push through that vacant mid-off area. The mid-off is actually deep at long off. That's Darryl Mitchell. They take another single. Bairstow goes to 19. England to 24 for no wicket.
You expect Bairstow having faced 19 balls to be
Getting going a bit, wouldn't you?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
I think it's a bad move to bring on the spinner this early. Jacks gives himself room, and he's followed to outside leg stump. He ends up cutting it square. Lockie Ferguson with the headband does the fielding, and Jacks can't get it away. He's got 5 off 5. It's 24 for none off 4.
Steve Shipcott says, came in late. What was that about Ravi's cats? Is there a link? I think there is a link.
No, we are. If you haven't heard, unfortunately, Ravi died just over a month ago. And in his honour, Warren D has said he'll match $400 worth of donations to Gorilla Cricket.
Well, say Gorilla Cricket to the Sugar and Spice Cat Rescue
yes, exactly.
Fund.
And I was just getting there.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, but I just didn't want people to
And
get the
we're
wrong
gonna
idea.
exactly. And we're going to donate it to the Cat Fund that our friends in Australia run in his honour, which seems quite appropriate because he befriended a stray cat himself, didn't he?
Yeah, I hope Fuzzy's going to be looked after all right in the block. Anyway, Lockie Ferguson's into the attack. He went for a few the other night, didn't he?
He did.
Will Jacks got hold of him, but he's bowling to Johnny Bairstow, who tries to pull. It was a little bit quicker onto him than he expected. Bottom hand comes off the bat, manages to get it away through square leg for a single.
And he sounds like this. It's gone a bit weird at the end.
Let's get a bit weird. Who's that? Is that that must be a Mog.
That's Jameson.
There is Jameson. Carl Jameson is up there. We'll have more of a input into the one-day series, you'd imagine. This one is just back of a length and a little bit quick for Jax. Goes between bat and pad, 91 miles an hour. And Jax doesn't get to face too many of that pace in county or 100 cricket. That said, Gus Atkinson will be bowling around that pace, we hope, for England later on. But they're in the same team, aren't they, for the 100?
They are both in the Invincibles. They both won a tournament about a fortnight ago.
Indeed, indeed. Ferguson in again, bowls, and he smashes. This is a bit of a slog, really, from Jax, but he's got it wide in the air of mid-on, and it's run away. Ferguson will be a bit sore about that for 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was a shot of a man who felt, hang on, I've got to get on with it here, haven't I? Well, you know, I know I haven't had much of the strike, but it's looking worse. I've only got 5 runs.
It's also the first one that's been in his arc, really. Lockie, after his mauling from balls pitched up in the last game, is decidedly bowling it slightly shorter than he would have done before, and that one's far enough up they can smear it.
It was a smear, wasn't it? Nothing more than a
massive smear.
Ferguson in, full. Oh, now he's got an inside edge to that one as he tried to beef it down the ground, and he's picked himself up another very fortunate boundary. Poor old Lockie can't believe it. He's gone for 9 now off 4 balls. He must think Will Jax has got it in for him. He's got 13 now off 8.
Can you grab me a beer from the fridge before you sit down? I'll hold that for you. Oh, right, thank you. Oh, nice.
The bear has been bought a glass of red wine. Is that from the Ponting range? Okay. You can still, of course, get the Ponting wines. GC Ashes 2023. Go to our website and follow the prompts if you want 15% off. Now he follows Jax again, who then tries to pull it to the leg side, even though he's going away towards square leg in the process, but he makes no contact with that one. And we will have a change at the end of this over. 1 ball to go. That was out of the back of the hand, or out the side of the hand than fully the back of the hand, but it was cleverly bowled. But I do have to say something. I just do not like Lockie Ferguson's dark boots. It's just not right. It's like
he's football boots.
Well, really. I just said he's like the bloke at school who's forgotten his plimsolls for gym. Remember that, Jim?
He wears them in all colour competitions.
Ferguson, he does. I know, it's terrible. Now smashed by Jax. I'm not sure he's got enough on that, to be honest. Someone's underneath it, aren't they? No, there's no one back there. He's picked his spot. Has that gone all the way? Would you believe it? Yes, it has. Ferguson, who went for 16 in his first over on Wednesday night, has gone from 15 in his first over tonight. And after 5, England are 39 for no wicket.
And we're up to date on tweets.
And we're up to date here. Well, Dara Azizi just says hi all. Samantha G's with us as well. So hello to you. Hello to everybody. Super chatters, if you want to get read out. And I'm going to say hello to Adja. I haven't seen for a while. How are you, mate?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Happy to be
what am I doing? Square.
Guerrillas. So I don't know if you've heard of this. So last time Mog came on my podcast, we invented a new word, guerrilla lovers.
Guerrillas.
There you go. It's yours. So it's all of us who participate in the guerrilla cricket universe, guerrilla lovers.
Nice. Lockie is in. Smeared at by... No, sorry, it's Tim Southey. What am I on about? That's because it's a new over. I'm a bit discombobulated. Right? And slower ball, 71 miles an hour. And Bairstow, who's heaving at most things tonight, looking a bit ungainly, but every time he catches hold of one, it stays hit. He's moved on to 20 off 21. Jax is 19 off 10, he's got a liking to Lockie Ferguson. A bit lucky at times, but what the hell. And England are 39 for none after 5.1.
Bairstow going a bit slow, less than run a ball even.
Well, yeah, but he's seen 21 balls, so oh my word, that's a top spin backhand. I think he's not going to get 4 for it. He's going to get a single. He really got over the top of that. He came down the wicket and then sort of slapped it like a backhand top spin drive down the line in a tennis match, and he got himself a single.
That was well controlled, actually.
It was very
There
well
was some
controlled. That's
topspin
what I mean. He
imparted.
snapped the wrist like he was getting over the ball.
Exactly. Some topspin imparted on it. That was well done. I think England will still be happy with the start.
Yeah. Will Jacks is out. He's trying to slap Saudi down the ground after Lockie's pace. I guess Saudi's a little bit slower, and that was only 72 miles an hour. Threw his shot a bit early, clothed it really to mid-on. He's up inside the circle. The first wicket goes for England. But I'm still in the game because I've got Johnny B over 37.5. But the crowd says out.
They do.
Mark Chapman was the man who caught it.
Have we done the super chats?
We haven't done the
Chase
second one,
Smith.
just coming from
There
Harriet.
is a super chat. Harriet Atkinson, hello Harriet, and thank you so much. Good to hear your dulcet tones. Evening snacks, crusty bread, olives, nacho chili cheese dip. George McPherson was also saying, come on England, get a few more sixes. Well, I think they were trying and they lost a wicket in the process, but I don't think they'll be overly stressed by that.
Right. And a very familiar figure striding into the crease at number 3. Do you have a jingle for this man?
Yeah, there is a jingle for this man. He had a very good night the other night. It is.
Introducing the next generation David.
That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name.
Darwin Milan, congratulations.
I know you're a stats man. You're going to be able to tell me exactly what the average score batting first in the T20 is at Old Trafford, aren't you? Because I know you
164
know that.
in the
There you go.
blast.
I know who to go for my stats.
I've even got it written down here.
I knew you would have. 164?
That's this year's blast, yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
can tell you the last couple of years in the blast, but this year being the most relevant.
What was it in 100?
I don't even look at the 100 because
Okay.
I don't know what to. It's different, isn't it? Different number
Well,
of
yeah,
overs.
is it?
How can
Yeah,
you make
but-
a comparison?
But it's weird, isn't it? Because I kept seeing
It's not
sort
even
of-
overs.
You know, you kept seeing scores of like 160. I mean, people getting 200.
Sets are for badgers, not fucking cricket.
Well, that's very true. Driven at by Darwin Milan. We were talking about this in the
We were.
podcast earlier.
That's probably what
Doesn't
Messi
move
says.
his front foot, just wafts it outside the off stump, and it goes through to the keeper, and there's no run.
Yeah, but that's exactly what he was doing on Wednesday, if you
Exactly,
recall, wasn't it?
precisely. But-
Stand and waft.
Exactly, because he's not lined his eyes up properly, and so because he doesn't get his foot across, he's just playing the wrong line because he's not in.
That said, he ended up batting very well. And
Yeah, well, he did. I mean, he
making
wafted it
a
enough.
point, I think.
Yeah.
He needs to get some scores.
Well, I
doesn't
suppose
he?
that's not bad from Jackson. At 19 off 10, he's not wasted anything. Oh, and played
Absolutely.
that by Milan. He's
That's
missed
good.
it again.
Test
Through to
match
the
lens,
keeper.
These.
Huh?
These are test match lens. If you're not going back and across, you're going to miss them every time.
Uh,
These
well-
are not stand and hit. Either
Well-
you have to advance at it, or you have to go
Well-
back and play it correctly.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's how he plays, and you know, he's got a good average and a good strike rate. So,
Right.
I mean, he's got a 50, nearly 1 in 3 games in a T20. In T20, that's pretty good.
Absolutely. I mean, he was the number 1 ranked T20 batter for a while.
Yeah, exactly. And he
He's
does
a big
speed
one.
up. He's very capable of speeding up. He's had a flap it again. He missed it again. And it's through to the keeper. He's none of 3. Can you turn yourself up a little bit, Ajit?
Me? Yeah, I can do that.
While you do that, Dave Wood says, shouldn't you be drinking vodka to celebrate Ravi's memory? Well, yes. The only problem there is some of us drive here. Jay Grover. Evening all, I'm honoured. I'm honouring our friend Ravi in a way I'm sure he'd understand. Proper gutted there's no one to cover for me during the inevitable social media bans anymore. R.I.P. and raising a glass. Thank you very much, Jay.
Did you read that one?
Yeah.
That is lovely. I read that one. Is that
Okay.
Harriet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Where were you when you were sat there?
Oh, no, don't.
Jay Grover also said, anyone who gives not Fred the Fear is fucking mint in my book. Warren says, Ajit, never turn your back on the ocean.
No.
Fair
That's the third time today I've seen that.
Well, I think I've turned people onto it,
Wretched
haven't
thing.
I?
What,
Well,
you're
Sure,
the
bear
desert,
you.
the Bear Desert Island.
The Bear Desert Island. I started that. That's
Bear
good,
Desert
man.
Island.
Really,
Fair enough.
there is a place called Bear Island, isn't there, somewhere?
Yeah, there is somewhere. Probably more than one Bear Island, I thought.
Right.
Right. Mitchell
Is my
Santner
wife-
is. Yes. Mitchell Santner is going to continue. And he's around the wicket to Bairstow, who has a big heave. His foot didn't leave the ground, I don't think. No, is the umpire really going to go upstairs? He is going to go upstairs. His bat never left the ground. You've got to make a fucking decision on these things.
I think his back leg was firmly grounded.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
There's no fanfare at all.
You could tell by the way he lost his balance. He was definitely just trying to keep his back foot down, wasn't he?
I can tell you where Bear Island is if you want to know.
Where is Bear Island? Off Canada?
It's nowhere near Canada. It's the southernmost island of the Norwegian Svalbard archipelago, located at the limits of the Norwegian and Barents Seas, approximately halfway between Spitsbergen and the North Cape, discovered by Dutch explorers.
There you go. Maybe it was worth having a look at this, because actually he dragged his foot out of his crease by quite a long way.
If he doesn't get it back,
he's back, but I guess he got there. So this is, first of all, very good bowling to start off with.
His foot's back.
Yeah.
That was sleepy from Seifert, though. He didn't seem to...
He didn't get it back quick enough, did he? It was quick.
Ben Folkes, whoosh, gone. He'd be out.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But it was quick. He got his foot back pretty quickly, did Johnny B. I've got him over 37.5, so I need him to score at least 17 more runs. And there you go. A delicate little
runs or waist measurement.
Well, I guess they're quite similar, but I need runs.
Oh, okay.
That one is just lap swept down towards very fine leg, and he'll get himself a couple of runs, Bairstow.
He'll be biding his time, right? He'll definitely not be happy about that strike rate of his, but we know he can easily catch a couple of big hits anytime.
Precisely. I mean, it's where you end up, not the journey, I suppose. Well, you will be judged for eventually. I mean, if he gets out now, it's not a great innings, is it? It's okay. That's driven hard out to the cover boundary. Glenn Phillips is out there. He'll field it and to get a single.
Absolutely.
But as you say, if he gets 3 sixes in the next 5 balls, and then he gets out, suddenly it looks all very different, doesn't it? It's a reasonable innings. Funny old game, T20.
Well, will England be able to accelerate through the middle overs or not? Because Malan takes his own time, and Bairstow is not particularly hot today. So, I mean, they have a lot of firepower indeed to follow.
Yep.
But I mean, would they even consider pushing Josh Butler a bit higher up the order? Something like this. Are they thinking about it at all?
Who? Sorry.
Josh Butler.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll bring himself. I mean, if they go to about 10 overs before they lose another wicket. Oh, well, Darrow Malan. He might bring himself out now, you never know. Darrow Malan has gone back, and that's actually for once. Santner has hung it up there a bit. Malan's got to drive it through the offside. It's grip turn, beat his inside edge, taking his Midland leg stump. And Darrow Malan, after getting 50 and looking really good in the first innings, absolute pile of shite.
Seemed like a very lazy shot.
No, he was beaten on the inside, wasn't he? It was too short to do that. He was beaten in the flight. He was committed to the shot. It turned, beat his inside edge. It's good bowling, actually. We don't often see Santner give it any air. It's usually darts. But we have to say goodbye to him, and so we shall. Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Well, I have been reminded correctly by my teammates back home that I should give a shout out to my cricket club. So I play for Kiwi Cricket Club, and anybody from Kiwi listening in, give a shout out and please follow Guerrilla Cricket and support them.
There you go.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
This man's come out.
Harry Brook is the future. Unless he backs away Simon Carrigan bowls.
Wow, is it just me, or does the bowler Santner look suddenly all grown up? He looked like a boy in last. Now he's.
I think it depends whether he wears his glasses or not.
He wears the glasses to bat, doesn't he?
His glasses somehow make him look younger. Some people they make him look older. Yeah.
Although that's going down. Fuck off.
No,
if you want to review that, you personally can. I think it might even hit him outside the leg. It's back to the darts, and Harry Brook gets one first ball, sliding down leg, doesn't turn, doesn't straighten. And
at least that's what Saudi thinks. The bowler was definitely interested.
It's hit him outside leg stump probably, and it's not turning back. Goes back this time, beats the bowler on the follow through, get himself a single, and gets himself off the mark. Our 2 heroes from the other night. Will they be the 2 failures tonight?
Any tweets?
There certainly are. If I can just get back to them. Dave Wood, I have a suggestion to improve the 100. Give each side 3 innings. 300 balls seems like an ideal amount for a match. If you give them 3 innings, it's 100 balls in the innings, so it'd be 600. But I know what you mean, Dave. According to the GC Radio Naked Fun Porn Bot, ironically, he says, Bear Island is a nudist colony.
Is it?
Well, I don't know if that's
wow.
convenient.
What, that
but
far north? That's pretty hardy.
You
3 days of the year, probably.
Look it up.
You'd have to
Google
be
Bear
a
Island.
self-confident male to be wanting to be that cold
Yeah, very self-confident.
when you're out.
Well, we're having another change of bowling. We're going to have... Where is this jingle?
I have gone skinny dipping in Finland.
He came on to the scene in 2013. From his hand, leggy spinning. He loves number.
His first ball gets reverse swept by Brooke. It's full toss. Probably should have lamped it back down the ground, and there's no run.
Wasn't it a friend in a full toss to just plonk it over mid-wicket?
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, it's a leg break bowler, and we bowl a few of these from time to time, but
Committed to the shot, isn't he? You know, he's gone down early. Another one that slides and hits the pad. This time from Ish Shoddy, but it's pretty flat.
I know, that reminded me of Gavin Larson. More like Gavin Larson bowling rather than Ish Shoddy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fast military medium leg cutters or fast military medium outswingers.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, a narrow miss, I would say.
He's given that a little bit of air, but it's a bit full, and Brooke punches it up to long on. He'll get himself a single. England are not exactly rocketing along here, but they've got wickets in hand.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be coming onto the ball, the bat
that well.
massively quickly.
There's not a lot of spin, though, is there? There's not a lot of spin. There's not a lot of
Santner
movement.
got that one to turn a fair bit.
It was slow, loopy turn. It wasn't sharp turn. It did turn, of course. And by the way, we saw Sodhi get his 100th cap before this.
That's given a lot of air. Ooh, he tipped that as well, though. Could have quite easily been around. It's not going to go. Driven straight, not with huge timing by Johnny B, and I think he ends up just getting a single.
Yeah, it was just one. As I was saying, we saw the presentation of his 100th cap to Ish Sodhi. Congratulations on 100 T20 for him. He's been around the block.
He has a bit. Never been great, never been bad, really.
Yeah.
He's got quite decent control for a leggy. He's not a big turner of the ball, is he? That's played up to long on once more. That time by Brooke. He'll get himself another single. Good first over, though. 3 off 5.
Yeah, it's very
excellent
tight.
Start. He got away with full toss, right?
Yeah, got away very much. Got away with a full toss. 1 ball to go. My bet's still on. I've still got Bairstow, which is quite handy. Sodhi tosses that one up, driven, punched back down the ground hard this time, but he still won't beat long on. It's Santner, I think.
Yes.
And no, whoever that is. Finn Allen?
Finn Allen, yeah.
Yeah. And that'll be a 1 run to any over. Bairstow will retain the strike, and I'm over to Tone.
Well, Messages is supposed to be asleep because he said, I'm not doing the 6 o'clock ones because that's when I'm asleep.
Well, that's what I thought, but
he's clearly not asleep.
Exactly, because he enters the GPL.
I know.
And he tweets. And
however, he says, there is a Bear Island in Canada too, so the bear does do geography. Bear Island is an island in the Lake Temagami, northeastern Ontario, Canada, with an area of, he tells us the area of it. It's apparently the 2nd largest island in a lake. Oh, well, there you go.
Wow.
Mark Zip. Hello, Mark. Afternoon all. Shout out to my friend Hannah, who's suffering through the Gorillaverse while helping set up a yard sale.
Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Hannah.
We're not bad at all. You may not understand cricket, but we're here to help you. Oh, a horrible heave by Bairstow. And he doesn't get any runs. Run rate's fallen below 6.
He hurt himself. He hit the ball so hard.
Well, he hit the ball very hard into his thigh, inside thigh.
Yeah.
England are crawling along here, 48 for 2. They need to do something. That one is wide. Does get hold of it. He's driven it out. I think he's found a gap. He's going to find a boundary. First time in a little while. Good shot from Johnny B. Does beat the infield, and it's 4 runs.
Heck of a dive from Phillips, though.
Yeah.
Worth it. He wasn't going to give it up easily.
Nice shot, though. It was actually quite a poor ball because it was flat and it was wide. It's kind of like a reasonably paced half volley outside the off stump. And he's found that gap between the 2 fielders out on the fence, one at long off and one at cover.
Proper swimming pool dive. Start of a race dive.
It was, wasn't it? It was a swimming pool dive, you're right.
Oh, God, that one did turn. Kind of beat Bairstow, but it was so slow out of the pitch that he had time to adjust. Kind of slap it round a corner like a hockey shot with one hand off the bat. Just break the wrist.
Now that
gets himself a single.
Sorry. Now that I've got a view of the bowler, Lockie Ferguson's boots, I don't see what you're complaining about, really, Tony. It matches perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Black and black. Who gives a crap?
I want my baby back.
Yeah, well, something like that. On the back foot goes Bairstow, punches that out to the deep cover, gets himself a single. Oh, sorry, that was Brooke. Bairstow's back on start.
Jay Grover wants to know what's happened to Ravi's cats. They're being looked after, I believe, by the people in the building he lived in.
Oh, he's got hold of that,
wow.
Johnny B.
Yeah,
Finally gets hold of one. Slog sweep of Santner. Again, it's a little bit wide, a little bit full, and this time taking the pace off it a little bit and giving it a bit more air. And it's been slapped hard over cow corner for 6 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was very flat, very hard. I mean, there's not a lot you could do as a bowler. I thought he bowled it wide and clever, but it was sort of set up. Best was waiting for one of these, right? His whole innings potentially.
This one he goes back, crunches it square on the offside. Can't beat the man at point though. And that's the end of the over. Suddenly we're up for 60. So suddenly we got back over 6 and over.
6.5 even. But
yeah,
I don't know if you saw, the last ball was a slinging ball. He almost delivered it as if not anywhere close to his ear. The bowling arm was all the way out.
Okay, the wide-armed sling, yeah.
Mumbai Indians, New York, hashtag Asia Cup. Says, I love the Ish zombie jingle. Yeah, it is a fun one. Jay Grover, I think I went to a bar called Bear Island once. I was severely disappointed by the lack of Ursine representation. The lads weren't into hobbits, sadly.
Man, there's lots of things for me to go out there in the world and claim, isn't there? Down the track comes
hello.
Harry Brook, smashes that over inside out. Is a shot he is very good at.
On its way to Southport.
Well, yeah, inside out over extra cover once more. 6 more runs. That was a lovely shot.
Proper cricketing shot, right? There's not a lot you can do again as a bowler. You'd think, was he too full? No, he saw the batsman advancing. He held the ball back.
No.
Played with the turn.
Exactly. Harry Brook is very good at that. He gets down the track. I was quite surprised that he struggled so much against spin in the IPL, to be fair. Because he is good at it. He tried to beat him on the outside this time. He saw him coming down, shoved it wide. Brook was able to adjust and repeats the shot. Beautiful
Great
striking.
catch in the crowd, by the way.
Good catch, 6 runs. Man is on fire. That was absolutely
Had to reach
lovely.
for that.
He did as well.
Look at that. Flamingo do a bit as well for style.
He was able to adjust because Sodhi saw him coming and shoved it wide.
Now it's a tall man. I think he's had to reach his. No, use his full reach, but that's the end.
He didn't catch it.
He didn't catch it. It was a shit catch.
He celebrated it like he had caught it.
Yeah, he missed it. Flew through his hands, rubbish. Oh dear, that's popped up off the pad maybe. And then off the pad and then... No, not off the pad and then the bat. Just off the
bat.
Pad.
Oh, pad, says
it was
Mr.
a
Saggers.
There's a leg by. Now I need Bairstow to get 1 run.
I thought the keeper threw at the wrong end. If he had turned around and tried to run Harry Brook out, he had a decent chance, I thought.
The Naked Fun Pawnbot said, OK, Bear Island isn't a nudist colony, but Bone Island is. So there you go. Messi says, yes, he is up, but he's going to bed at the end of this innings and we have to look after his GPL picks. OK,
that's a horrible ball. Ooh, short. It was nearly a shit gets wicket delivery, though. It was short and it was pulled by Bairstow airily out towards Conway down at deep square leg. But it bounced just before
I was
him.
wondering how he survived that. It was so terrible a hike, it should have gone straight down square leg's throat.
Indeed. We're about to have a change at the end of this over. Steve is going to come in.
He is indeed.
For the first time for this T20 series. Jason is going to join him and Hendo. It's a 3-man change, my God. Brook plays it down the track towards...
Very sensible.
Yeah, very sensible. And it's a single. I was reading an interesting article today about what they're trying to do in some park in New York to get a stadium there, the ICC, to get a stadium in the park for the World Cup, World T20 next year, and the locals don't want it, and it's all a bit of a battle. It worked into the leg side, last ball the over by Bairstow, gets himself an easy single down to long on. It's time for a change. It's a 3-man change. Good to see you again, Ajit. I'm sure I'll see you. Well, I'll see you. Well, I won't actually. I'm not on with you in the second half, but you'll be back. in about 10-15 overs time. I'm going to play a little marketing jingle while everyone scoots around. So here we go.
All right.
Oh, there's lots of opportunities to support the Gorillas. Patreon or buy some merch and enter the GPL. We've got the comms, you got the ears. Give us lots of money. No Michael Vaughan and no KP. You can spare us some money. Go to patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket. Choose either $2, $5, or $10 per month to keep us going. You know it's a bargain.
Oh, and there's a completely different set of people here now, and we're in the 10 over break. So I'll get through a couple of very quick tweets. Dave Wood says, "Is the Bear going to do a tour of all the world's woods and claim all the turds?" I really don't know what that was about, but I don't really want to. Thank you very much.
We'll keep it there.
And Jago says, "Mate, I'm not soft, but I'm not walking to any pub and claiming it as Bear Island."
What is this about Bear Island? I missed the beginning of that.
Yeah, we were having
discussion.
an interesting conversation in the green room while they were talking about Bear Island.
I think we were.
We'll leave it there, shall we?
Well, you know, you'd be happy as an England supporter to come onto commentary with Johnny Bairstow and Harry Brook out there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, the way they've been playing the last day,
particularly when we're saying they've slowed up a bit and then hit 360s in 8 balls.
Yeah.
I've given credit to Bear for pointing that out. So Old Trafford looking quite resplendent, actually, isn't it?
It does, yeah.
Tonight.
Well, they like to party up there.
They do. Anyway, quick summary. First 10 overs, England 76 for 2. Southey and Santner have taken the wickets of Jacks and Milan, who really was well and truly out of sorts. 4 balls he faced and didn't touch the ball once. Much to Hendo's annoyance.
Yeah, it was a very strange little innings, wasn't it? He just couldn't lay his hands on Tim Southey, and then he got first ball from Santner, and he was completely undone by it.
Yes, as a member of the lefty batting group, I did explain to Hendo that we are allowed to waft outside of stump. So.
Oh yes, of course it is, absolutely.
It's a contractual requirement, isn't it?
Indeed. David Gower led the way, and I followed.
Absolutely.
Anyway, it is Johnny B to face up to Lockie Ferguson back into the attack, and this one's short of a length pretty quickly, but that's just dispatched behind square down to long leg for one of these.
Just got his line all wrong there, didn't he? And when you've got pace like that, you've only just got to get a little bit of bat on it. The man on the 45 has got to be quite lucky to
he made a great effort as well, actually.
Was that Sodhi, I think it was?
This is Sodhi, I think.
He's a quite tall lad, isn't he?
He's a tall glass of water, but even full strength along the pitch, he can't get to that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Johnny enjoyed that. Moves on into the 40s with that shot. Lockie again, same sort of area, but not quite the same result this time for Bairstow. Doesn't get hold of it, goes straight to Sodhi, the man on the 45. No run.
Yeah, a little bit straighter that one, and it bounced a little bit more, I think, and that's why he couldn't get it away quite so effectively.
He's into Bairstow's paunch, if you want to call it that.
It's funny, isn't it? Because he's such a quick man around the ground as a fielder or as a batsman.
But there's a lot of lumber to move.
He has definitely put on some, hasn't he? Maybe during that injury break.
Ferguson gallops past the umpire. This one's outside off stump. That's smeared straight to the man at point. No chance of a run. That's about the third or fourth time we've seen Bairstow really smear it nicely into the offside, straight to the fielder. Not good for his runs.
No, a bit unhappy about that, I think.
It's almost as though he's trying to hit it too hard and not trying to place it through the gaps.
Yeah, that was a slower ball by Ferguson's speeds. I was down at 79.
Very slow. Ferguson in again. Again, outside off stump. Inside edge of Bairstow's back. Goes way down to the deep mid-on. Comes in off the boundary. Does restrict them to just the single.
I expect we'll be seeing the fielder soon, Mitchell.
Yeah.
He'll get to turn his arm over a little bit, perhaps, to take the pressure off somebody who's having a bad day.
He bowled the other night, didn't he, Mitchell?
I can't remember. I don't think Mitchell did bowl, did he? I mean, England only needed what?
14 overs, wasn't it? So
Yeah. So
just looking at a bunch of tigers in the crowd, looking very resplendent. Ferguson, this is a fuller ball, and Brooke has poked this into the offside. Extra cover. Really rather ungainly bit of fielding, but does actually stop the ball, so there's no chance of a run. That is the end. Oh no, one more ball to see it come. Sorry.
I'll just look at the Tigers.
Yeah. I think he's too big for that suit, Paul.
Well, he's come straight from work, hasn't he? And he's trying to put the tiger suit on.
A tiger with a tie, yeah.
Oh dear.
This has been a good response by Ferguson after the first ball went
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's come back well. And again outside off stump. This one again, Brooks flails at it, misses it. It's not far from off stump, but anyway, just about reaches the wicketkeeper. That is the end of the 11th over. England have moved on to 81 for 2. Ferguson finished 2 overs, 0 for 20. Anything, Jason?
Yep, Jay Grover's got a couple of tweets. One for Hendo saying, "Now Hendo's put on some weight since Wednesday when he was a spectral figure."
Yeah, for those who don't remember, I actually wore a T-shirt which is exactly the same colour as our green screen, so part of me was disappearing.
He was disapparated.
I was.
And he says, "Lefty batting group, mint comrade. There's also some boss shirts on the commentary this evening. Hendo, hang thou head."
What have I done?
You probably haven't dressed for the occasion, I think, according to Joe Grover's sartorial guide.
Well, you have got. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed by your lemon infused shirt, T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's very good, very nice. Santner back on, isn't he?
It's a gentle stroll to the crease by Santner, and Bairstow has launched this into the ground, into the stand for 6.
Has that 6, or did that just pitch
that
just
all went
short?
all
Did
the
that
way.
go all the way?
Yeah.
That just clipped the top of the sponge, I think, so it was definitely 6.
And you have to say that had the guy been on the boundary, that would have been a comfortable
Straight
catch.
down his throat. But
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was slightly short of a length by Santner.
He's had to make some ground, hasn't he?
And, but I'll give Johnny the benefit of the doubt there. He saw the space and picked it. So.
That's what it was.
They're going through slow motion. It might actually be a 4. I think it might have just bounced in
I think
front.
I've said 6, but oh no, I think that's 6. I think
yeah.
that's hit first. Oh, it's
Yeah.
very hard to tell, isn't it? I might have to change my opinion on that. Might have to play the other jingle.
Well, it's nice to hear another jingle anyway.
Well, the same jingle from Mog, which just says 4 instead of 6.
Well, yeah, there is that, I suppose.
4. Well, they're still trying to work out what it is. I think they're going to go for a 6 because I think that has just hit the sponge, as Jason said, just before the green grass.
Oh, I think they're going to give that as a 4. I think they're going to give that as a 4.
As usual, it's a 1/30th of a second.
They're giving it a
It is. It's one of these instead. So Bairstow would have had his 50 there, wouldn't he? He's had to bring his backpack down.
Santner strolls in again. This one's just wide of left up. And this time
There's no doubt
he has
about that
smeared
one.
that one for the boundary for a proper 4, all the way along the ground, and that does bring up Johnny Bairstow's 50.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Don't stop just 'cause you got to 50. Don't stop, treat it as a start. You can use this to get a better score. The first 50's done, the first 50's done. Ooh, don't look back.
Santner has bowled the next ball, and this one sort of driven into the Bairstow's legs, but he managed to get outside the leg stump, pushed it into the offside, managed to come through a single, semi-misfield, and the batsman thought about coming back for a second, but no chance. Bairstow waving his bat prudently now that he has brought up his 50. This time into Harry Brook. This is down the leg side, must be a wide, and it is.
Yeah, well done to the keeper actually to get down there and prevent that running away for byes. But it is still a wide.
Santner in again, left arm. Oh, goes for the reverse sweep. This ball is a long way outside leg stump, and he has managed to pick it up, and that's a fantastic bit of fielding on the boundary. Saves the boundary, lets the England batsman come through for 2 more runs. Brook moves on to 19.
Well, he kind of showed that he was going to play that shot early on, and then he found himself in no position to do it, but still
Actually got it
had the
right
control,
round.
didn't he, to chip it over extra cover. Tremendous shot, really.
And a very good bit of fielding, as long as that foot's not touching. No, he's all right.
I think he's okay.
It's a very good bit of fielding.
Chapman again?
Very good.
Yeah, good play all round there. Good bowling, good fielding, good batting.
So now this amble into the creases. Hits Brook on the pads and just nudges out into the offside, and they've managed to come through for a quick leg by. I'm going to move on to 94 for 2, upping the rate, nearly up to 8 and over. Just watching this reverse sweep. The ball pitched outside leg side.
And he's chipped it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Incredible shot.
Beautiful controlled, actually.
Yeah.
Well, it's gone 3/4 of the way to the boundary in the air.
Yeah.
So he's certainly got a lot of bat on it.
Yeah.
Santner to complete his bowling spell. And Best has just sort of smeared this down to deep mid on. They get a run, and that's the end of that over. Jason.
I have no new tweets, and I don't think we've got anything new on YouTube.
No, it's all gone a bit quiet. But I mean, normally when we say that,
we get a flurry.
We get a flurry of tweets or
well, it is
a McFlurry.
It is Friday night. People should have better things to do. Sure.
They should have, I suppose. I mean, but if we weren't here, would we have better things to do?
Probably. Yes, I did.
You did?
I was invited out for dinner. So.
Oh, well, there you did have. Well, obviously, you do have things better.
So
things
we're costing you a good dinner.
Well, supper rather more than a good dinner, but
supper.
It would have been well laid on anyway.
That sounds good.
So anyway, England through 12 overs, 95 for 2, just up in their rate. Is the way in T20 these days?
Yeah, just saw, didn't we, that they'd just gone past the 50 partnership from 30 odd balls.
So we got Southey back in, and Best has greeted him by just dispatching him into this tent with a very, very long 6. Fantastic shot.
Amazing shot. We basically played that as if he was facing the bowling from square leg, because he stood there and
it's a swivel he got.
It's a swivel, isn't it?
Put everything into that one.
It was so good. It was so innovative. I kind of thought it was Harry Brook at first, but you're absolutely right. It is Johnny
B. I went a long way back, and I think it was caught as well. They're very pleased with themselves in the crowd. Southey in again. Oh, this is just wide of the despairing New Zealand fielder. That's ended up hitting the sponge for another one of these.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
That was more of a slog, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, but Johnny's certainly taking a liking to Tim Southey's bowling here. So.
Well, 10 off the first 2 balls. We have another shout out on Twitter from GC Naked Fun. He's halfway through a litre bottle of vodka and a little cat fur. R.I.P. Ravi Nair.
Here's to Ravi. This one is just dispatched straight back over the bowler's head, and again, probably further than the first 6, but another one of these.
Wow, that's a shot.
6.
I'm just thinking about the irony of him hitting the ball onto the fencing and the balcony and whatever else and damaging it, so they have to replace it, and the next one swings like mad.
Thing about Johnny Bairstow, there's a point you notice in Johnny Bairstow where he goes up a level, and I think we're just seeing it now. He's seeing the ball so well. There's a relaxation in his shots. He's not even trying to hit them that hard.
No, he's just timing. Lovely shot, smeared through the cover, and deep cover comes in off the boundary, restricts them to a single. 6-4-6-1 so far this over.
Get on with it, Johnny.
Jason getting a bit edgy here.
No, I'm just being ironic.
And Johnny B's being a bit defensive here.
Well, once you see so many 6s, you just expect to see them next ball, don't you? Interesting, actually, that Moeen Ali looks like he's slated to come in next. And I know he was on Wednesday, but Liam Livingstone came in before him. And you'd thought Liam Livingstone, home ground again, you'd have thought they might have put him in at 5.
I think England have got a very fluid batting order for these 4 games.
Well, this one is floated outside off stump, which is not far from a wide, and Brook has just put his foot down the ground, swung through the line, and dispatched this over the rope for another 6.
Ah, that was just a
beautiful shot.
It's just wrist work, isn't it? Because he's picked it from well outside off stump. And it's just speed of hand and wrist, extra bit of wrist, and it's gone all the way for one of these.
I don't know what to make of this pitch now. I think either...
All looks very easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, either it's a belter, and New Zealand did well for the first 3 or 4 overs to keep
He's in
England
again,
check.
and he goes for the ramp. Brooke doesn't get any bat on it. The wicketkeeper half appeals. Brooks kicking the ground in annoyance. He knows he had a good chance of another boundary there. So an expensive over from Tim Southey. His figures 3 overs, 1 for 31. England have moved on to 118 for 2 at the end of the 13th over.
Yeah, and he'd had 2 overs for 8, and now he's got 3 overs for 31. It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Jay Grover, talking about sartorial elegance, says, I'm wearing a silk vermilion Nehru jacket. Sadly, looking at its heritage, I don't think it's silk. The vermilion is probably dyed by the blood of Uyghurs.
God.
So,
Chinese
quite
reference,
literally,
right?
blood on your hands.
A couple of mentions on YouTube. Revenite FC says majestic 6-hitting. It certainly is. And Harriet Atkinson says in the garden for this mad old bat Atkinson. It's a good name to have tonight because Gus is making his international debut.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him. It's Sodhi back into the attack.
I'll jiggle him up in a minute.
Right on over, and and Bairstow has just arced this straight into the ground again for another 6.
It's hardly worth. I think if Sodhi would like to go below the radar, I won't jingle him up.
So welcome to the bowling attack, Sodhi. This one is very wide on the left and the leg side, and Bairstow's hoiked this, hasn't really got hold of it. It's fallen short of the fielder running in off the boundary, and they've just restricted them to the single.
Still don't know whether that's a good stop or a poor attempt at the catch, but
Yeah,
it's Devon Conway the second time.
He didn't fancy getting that smeared all over his face, did he?
Oh no, that's a good stop.
Oh no, that was a catch. He dived forward.
Yeah.
Gone with bravery. Sodhi in again. Reverse sweep from Brooke. One bounce over the rope and another 4.
He's superb with this shot. He's taking it from outside leg stump, and he just comes down on the ball so rapidly.
That's a yard inside the line with the reverse swat.
Very good shot.
I don't know how you get any follow through with that shot as a right-hander. It's an incredible shot.
I think the bats these days help though. You know, they're so bloody big. If you do middle them, below,
I mean,
goes a long
you
way.
played that in the nets 20 years ago, and it would have just dribbled into the net, wouldn't it? Basically.
Yeah, you just said I'll take 2 for that.
I'd have probably pulled a hamstring trying to do that.
Getting that low, you mean?
Absolutely. Sodhi in again. A much fuller ball, and met as Brooks sort of dances down the pitch. Just punches it way down to deep mid on. Just come through for a single. England have moved on to 130 for 2 in the 14th over.
Run rate's almost up. Well, it's up just over at 9.5.
Yeah,
I thought that
they've gone from just under 8 to nearly 10.
Yeah, I thought Brooke almost overran that one actually.
Yeah. Almost made that into a very, very good Yorker.
Yeah.
But, just about got him. This one, a good length this time, and gets a bit of respect from Bairstow. Just punches it deep into the offside, and good bit of fielding from the New Zealanders. Have restricted them just to the single. Thought there was a good chance of a 2.
Yeah, I think when they hit it, they thought 2 was on there, but actually it was a good piece of fielding by Mitchell, I think, down there.
Yeah, it's in and out of his hands very, very quick. That freezes the batsman from running the second.
Sodhi to complete his over again, just punched into the offside, and there was never a chance of anything much more than just adding one more to the score. End of the 14th, 132 for 2. Jason.
Dave Wood says Joss has been picked in this game as a specialist reviewer. I think that's a bit unfair. He's also a pretty good keeper. That's definitely a skill that's worth keeping.
Revenite asks, do you guys think they'll bring in Brooke into the one-day squad? Surely they've got to find him a place in this form. I think they will find him a space. I mean, it's going to be harsh. I mean, if you're named in the original team and then left out, like, I mean,
can they take more than that, or
no? They can change it up until the
change it.
28th of September.
I mean, Jason Roy has to be the one under most pressure, I would say.
Roy, Livingston to a less extent, Milan to a less extent.
I think the thing about Livingston that keeps Livingston in the team is his ability to bowl, 2 or 3 overs here or there, doesn't it? And different types of spin that he's got.
And also, probably Phil Salt is nervously looking at this game, wondering, is my neck on the chopping block? But I think Roy would be looking very worried.
I really don't.
Well, I think Salt's had quite a good 100, didn't he? He played.
He did. Yeah, he
opened with Joss, didn't he? So
he had 2 or 3 games where he looked absolutely like $1 million. Got an 80 and 2 40s, I think. And the rest of the time he was out before we could tell.
Yeah, he's very much all or nothing, Phil Salt, I think. And I think he's more nothing than all. And I wouldn't have him in the team personally.
He's an ex-Sussex boy, so I'll back
Oh, yes,
him.
of course.
Yeah. Wide outside off stump, this one from Milne, and Harry Brook has punched it square on the offside, and good fielding, keeps him just to the single.
I'll jingle him up, the opening bowler, back.
That's a great jingle.
I think also, irrespective of what England want, I think all cricket fans would like to see Harry Brook in the ODI World Cup, irrespective of who you support.
This one is short outside off stump, and Bairstow was trying to pull that on the leg side. Has sort of succeeded, doesn't really get hold of it. Dribbles a bit all the way to the boundary. Fielder's set so far back.
Well, Johnny's going to be eyeing 100 here, isn't he, on 80?
He's on 80 now, or 50.
Is it 50 or 60? 50, yeah. Yeah. He's really sped up, hasn't he? He was beneath a run of ball at one point.
Brook, 33 off his 21. He should open up a bit, I think, don't you? This one is just swatted back over the bowler's head. He falls, actually, in the process of playing the shot, and...
he made it to the other end, but only
he made it just, but
I think
it was never ever more than a single.
I think he's entertained himself there, hasn't he?
Yeah. Just watching the...
Smashed it and then fell over.
Smashed it then, whoa! Oh, he's got mud on his gloves now. He'll have to get a new set sent out.
He's all entertainment, is Harry Brook.
We haven't hit a boundary for 6 whole
Good
balls
Lord.
here, boys. Come on. 0-0 again.
Ooh, not sure he's got that.
He's lobbed that, and is there a fielder? Oh, there is, but it's landed safely for him. And they have come through for 2 this time. Wild throw, which is way over the bowler's head, miles right of the wicketkeeper. But I think has been safely backed up by the Kiwis, so just 2 more runs.
Bairstow is always going to put the pressure on the fielder because he's so lightning between the wickets, and he wants to strike.
We've got a change coming up in a couple of balls' time at the end of the 15. I don't know what the lineup is. I think I'm doing something. But
It's Tony, Jason,
I know.
Tony, Steve, and Ajit.
Ajit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ajit's
back.
waiting to be let in, by the way.
Again, outside off stump, and Bairstow just sort of punches away down to deep mid-off. Looks at the bottom of his bat, wonders if he's broken it, but doesn't seem. Seems as if he has.
This is almost an exercise in damage limitation for some of the bowlers.
This has been a good over from Milne, actually.
It has, actually. Yeah. Well, he's nearly 3 overs, 0 for 17, so
yeah,
good figures in comparison to
one or 2
colleagues. In to complete his over, and Brook has smeared this behind point. Again, fine pit field. I think it was Santner, wasn't it?
Yes.
Good sliding in. They do get 2. And at the end of the 15th, England have moved on to 140 for 2.
Well, whilst Tony is making his way into the Jingles chair, I'll just come up with some tweets saying, take over. With Halloween coming up, do you think we could give a Ravi Nair memorial, give not Fred the Fear Day? I'm no prankster, but I reckon I could channel my loathing to harmless but psychologically devastating japes. It's what Ravi would have wanted. Definitely true. Steve Shipcott says, you always sound so despondent when there's no new tweets. I've just got nothing deep or meaning to say, but I'm here. P.S. R.I.P. Ravi, I've donated. And Matt Selb reminds us it's 7 years since he asked Michael Vaughan his question about has he played to plug some of his players because of his management company. And he blocked me on response. At least cricket is proudly Vaughan free.
Vaughan free.
Yep, and that's up to date. Okay. Ferguson's going to continue to Johnny B, who's on 83. Bairstow steps back, guides it to backward a point. There is a man down there, looks like Devon Conway. One more to Bairstow, he moves on to 84. It is all Yorkshire at the home of Lancashire here. My goodness me. That
Lost with the Knights. But really, they've answered the question very effectively for me. That I had asked, run a ball after 8 overs, will England be able to accelerate through the middle overs? They scored 92 runs in 7 overs. A mere 92 runs.
Lockie Ferguson's going to continue to Harry Brook, 36 for him. And he ramps this, and I think he's... Did he get anything on that? He was looking to just steer it upwardly, sort of on the swivel, as it were. It went into the gloves of Seifert, but I have a feeling he just didn't get any bat on it. But Ferguson can't believe it. No, he somehow managed to miss it. Seifert took it cleanly, but what I can't work out here is why we have a sort of weird gap next to Ajit.
Oh.
That's a bit weird. It's not Ajit's fault. Nothing you can do, Ajit.
It's not me, is it?
No, it's not you. It might be the positioning of the camera. Ferguson's going to come over the wicket to Harry Brook, who waits and guides that so deftly. You heard Steve purring with pleasure at watching that. He just feathered it down to where fine third man would have been, but wasn't, and gets himself one of these.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
But this is it, chaps, isn't it? I mean, he has all this power, but he's also got in his locker those very delicate, clever little shots as well.
Well, it's the modern cricketer, isn't it? The modern batsman. They can do all these things.
Very much so. Ferguson, he's jogging in, hair waving behind his headband. That's up in the air.
There it goes.
Now, I'm not sure he's got enough of this. It's out to mid-wicket. It's dropped short of Santner. They are going to come back for two, I think. Well, we saw Conway earlier. At least the first of which I thought he probably should have gone for that.
Well, I thought the second he should have done.
The second you thought he should, but then
I don't think Satner had a chance with that one. Though,
so yeah, well, it had a very long hang time. For him to think about what he was going to do.
Looked like one of our pitches into the green, Terry.
One of yours, maybe. Mine tend to take the sort of more bumbly worm style route. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men on the offside as Ferguson's going to be in. That one is slapped away through cover by Harry Brook. Wow. Bashes into the sponge. It's 4 more to the score.
Did you enjoy that, Ajit?
Absolutely.
It's a great shot, wasn't it?
Bear, if you get a moment, we have a sort of a slight pictorial issue on YouTube, which I can't figure out what to do about. That was a gorgeous shot. Harry Brook,
I tend to
all timing.
Like this at times. Not entirely of my own doing, but I do tend to have weird effect on technology.
What's Ferguson got in response? He's in to Brook. He spears it into his toes, and Brook had already stepped back looking for some space to carve it away into the offside. Wasn't able to. It's a rare dot ball. It's been very rare since the first few overs. This pair have absolutely powered along. Bairstow on 84, Brook on 46. Will Johnny B get to his 100? He had a shocking old start, didn't he, in Chesterler Street?
No, also here, 21 balls for 20 runs when I started my first commentary stint. From there to where he is now.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. It's the same batter.
And that one hurries him from Ferguson right into his midriff. But he gets himself a single. He was trying to pull it away into the onside. It went to forward short leg, or short fine leg, I beg your pardon. What is this partnership worth at the moment? It is worth, if you give me one moment, caller, 109 runs these two have put on since Dawid Malan's rather disappointing innings after the glories of Chesterler Street. Malan lasted just 4 balls before being comprehensively bowled by Santner. But since then, it has been all England, it has been all Yorkshire, and it has been all Bairstow and Brook. Incredible stuff.
Just one thing though, before Saudi begins is over, right? Whenever I see Brook bat, I'm very happy to see he gets all of his big runs through more or less conventional batting shots. a dink over extra cover that went a long way and so on.
Southey back into the attack, slapped by Brooks straight to mid-on this occasion, and he won't get a run. Mitchell it is who does the fielding.
Yeah,
Shall
you're
we jingle up Southey? Yeah, why not? He hasn't been on for a while, has
It's
he?
only a whimsical notion to fly with Tim Southey.
What's that?
I probably won't
Can you hear
fly with
Ajit?
Tim Southey.
Not particularly well.
No, my voice is a bit lower.
Hang on one second.
Yeah, bring your volume up a bit.
Yeah,
Ajit.
I
It's
think
quite
it could
quiet.
be your volume. Oh, and that one's
Oh.
crashed back over Southey's head by Harry Brook.
All
And
the
I
way.
think he's been gone all the way. Has it gone all the
Yeah,
way?
yeah,
Or has he
yeah.
been caught? No, he has gone all the way, absolutely. It brings up his 50 with 6 runs. He raises his bat. Warm applause from the balcony. Warm applause from all 4 corners of the home of Lancashire for the Yorkshireman Harry Brook. And well, we'll have to play a few things here. We'll start with one of these. And we should bear milestones one somewhere.
See, Hendo just segued these with great ease with best stones.
I know. And he's gone again. He's stepped back and he's going to get 4 more. He's pulled this just wide of mid-on. The man at backward square couldn't get round. It's our friend, is it Mitchell or Conway down there?
Conway.
That's Conway. They look quite similar. Conway's got less chin about him. They have similar beards. That's the thing. But it was
Is
just
my voice coming through better
beautiful.
now?
It's better.
I don't
Conway.
know what else to do, really.
I can hear you, but I don't think
it's
Tony
better.
can, so.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's not quite as you were quite muffly before.
Now I've gone to wireless, from wireless to wired fidelity.
Oh well, that's made a big difference because you're no longer muffly.
Aha.
What's Southey got? A whimsical notion he may have. It's been hauled massively by Harry Brook, deep mid wicket, probably 7, 8, 9, 10 rows back. Up go the arms of umpire Wharf. 6 more to that score, and England are on a charge here. My word! What a shot!
2 sixes in a row. 2 sixes in a row. 2 sixes in a row.
Just the bat speed is extraordinary.
Absolutely. It's a slow ball. He picked the bones
He
out
did.
of it, right? But if you're a bowler, especially it looked like he was bowling almost leg break. You don't even have to look around. It's the moment it left the bat, it's gone a very long way.
Oh, it certainly had.
Can I just correct you? I think that was 20 rows back.
Was it 20? No, it was in the lower tier. It's 169 for 2 England. 16.4 overs completed. Tim Southey's gone for 47. He's still got 2 balls left to bowl, providing he doesn't bowl an extra. This one's a much better ball. It's been crunched, but it's been crunched straight to long on, and he will just get a single this time, Harry Brook. 170 up for England.
The way these two are going, there may be enough time for 100 for both of these.
Well, the first game, the first ever T20 international here at Old Trafford was in 2008. That was against New Zealand. England won that by 9 wickets. New Zealand have only ever played here in one other T20. They lost that by a street, by 95 runs. So their track record at Old Trafford is not particularly good in this format of the game. Southey in, it's wide. I think that is a wide. It's a very well judged. No,
it swung back.
Says umpire Wharf. That is as close as you can get to the limited over tram line as you could possibly ever do. But he got away with it. It means England are going at exactly 10 and over, 170 for 2 wickets off 17 overs. Steve.
Chris Drew. Ravi replying to Jay Grover. Ravi would definitely approve of that proposal. It was a little while ago that we spoke it, but I agree. Mayank, seems pretty stupid that England have some home matches until September 26th, when the World Cup is in India only 2 weeks later. Jay Grover. They used to play 1-wicket games in the Victorian era. William Brook would have been mint in that format.
Well,
Source Flashman's Lady.
Oh, that's interesting. Tom Brown's School Days was Flashman, wasn't it?
Yep. He was the bully in Tom Flash.
Ooh, what's the boost? What's that boost there, or is that an ad?
It's an ad.
Oh no, it's an ad. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of
the
those.
Ghost of Zoob says, "Count me in."
Oh, excellent. Hello. Seen Zoo for a
And
while.
Jay Grover, all Yorkshire at the home of Lancashire. Cheers, Tony. I'm off for now, so I won't say what he said, but did I just, and GC Radio Naked Fun Porn Bot is back on. Did I just hear correctly that Michael Vaughan plugs someone?
Oh dear. Sodi's going to continue to the rampant Brook, who reverses him immediately. 2-3 bounces over what? Well, he reversed it, so actually it was over backward point, and it's 4 more. This is extraordinary stuff from England.
Very
highly,
brave.
highly
On
entertaining.
the floor, and one more fall than the 4. That's what 4's are for. To get funky on the dance floor.
He pulled it from outside his body. It was well outside the leg stump.
Yeah.
It was a very brave shot. He hit it with the turn. He must be given credit, nonetheless. But
Well, he did. There was some turn earlier, but Santner it was who got that,
Yeah,
that ball that got Milan definitely
It was a nice ball, yeah.
turned, but not huge amounts of evidence of it since. In comes Sodi down the track.
I think
I'm
so.
not sure has he got enough. No, he
No,
hasn't.
he
He's
hasn't.
holed out this time as Harry Brook. He's taken at long on. And I'm afraid the entertaining, enterprising and generally exciting innings of Harry Brook has finally come to a halt. But what a fine effort it was. 67 off 36 balls for him. Quite superb.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
127 was the partnership, I think. And it was quite superb. Well, considering in the context of 174 for 3, which is what England now are. Run rate over 10. Sodi finally has a man.
Well bowled, by the way.
It was well bowled.
Ball.
Yeah, it
You have
was
to give
very
him
well
the
bowled.
credit that he tossed it up just enough, but held it back. The length was just a little back. If it was any fuller, that was a 6. So he couldn't get any timing on it, or the power that with that wrist that he did in the previous over of the faster bowler.
Very nicely judged catch by Finn Allen too, it must be said.
It was Moeen Ali stepping out.
Yes.
Yeah, Joss Butler.
Sally.
It seems to me that Joss Butler has. He did this at Chesterley Street. It's almost as though he's saying, "Well, I know what I can do. I did it in the 100 final.
And so do we.
We know what he can do." He wants to have a look at the rest of his pack and see what how they're shaping up. And I think there's a lot to be said for that, Ajit. It shows a lot of confidence, smart leadership, I think.
For sure, but what has Liam Livingstone done? Is he now a spin bowler who gets to bat occasionally like Jadeja or somebody? He can bat, he can hit them long as well.
They don't see him necessarily as a starter. I'm just going to look for...
That's a very good point, though, Ajit. I must admit, Livingston, because I don't think he had a very good 100 either, does he? So he needs to get out there. So.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Ali's gone for the first ball, as if to go, well, if I don't have long, then I'm going to make the most of it while I'm here. He's launched his first ball over deep mid-wicket for 6 runs. I was going to jingle him up. Well played this. And it was this, the man.
Touch, move over, AMLO. I like it too much. Move over, AMLO. You're one hairy dish. I love unconditionally. It's Moeen Ali.
And again, that one was sort of pulled from, well outside of his off stump, away to leg, wasn't it, by Ali?
Hitting with the spin though.
10 off this over and a wicket for Sodi. Down the track, Ali's launched another one. Has he launched it far enough over deep mid-wicket? No, he's going to be caught, dropped, juggled. Finally just about taken. We said it was going to be a short time and a good time, and so it has proved for Moeen Ali. He's gone for 6. Just the one scoring shot, that was magnificent, but I'm afraid this time he has gone straight down the throat of Lauren, who, well, it was, you say, straight down the throat, or I said so. It was juggled by Adam Milne, and it really looked as though he was going to spill it, but at the second attempt, somewhere round about his knees, he managed to pouch it, and
the look he got from his
Mitchell,
well done indeed. I can't play
not
that.
a bad strike rate, right?
I think
6
this one will do
runs.
for Moeen Ali.
Muppet!
And here is Joss Butler.
Is it Joss? Is Joss going
It
to
is
come in,
Butler.
see what he's going to finish the day?
Shall I do some messages?
I think you
Because I've got
should.
a few. Jay Grover, loving the Yorkshire Ubermensch. Sadly, they both went to public school. Scholarship boys, but still up against the wall when come the revolution.
They're still Yorkshiremen.
Still Yorkshiremen. Any audiobook market for Ajit reading the... Don't know what that is. The Kalevala. Oh. So I can sleep peacefully with my moomins. I brook out. Should have gone to state school, posh prick.
180 for 4, by the way. Moeen Ali has just gone. Harry Brook has just gone, but there's only, 2.2 overs left, right? So it's not like England are going to run out of wickets. I think it's just going to be all thrash. Thrash. Be really interesting to see how Joss Butler goes. It's kind of a short straw, really, isn't it? When you're coming in, you have no option but to go from ball 1, and so he sort of defends this really and guides it out to long off.
Well, it's not as if
happy to give Bairstow the single, not surprisingly under the circumstances.
It's not as if he's going to prove anything, is it?
Because we found someone Sutler. Okay, he can't spell Joss, but he also can't spell Butler. Joss Butler. Just because he is Joss Butler. 1 S and 2 T's. Joss Butler.
Well, he was top run scorer in the 100.
Yeah,
was Butler. Bairstow will face. He waits. He slaps. But there's a ring of 3. There's a short third man, backward point and a point, all fairly closely grouped, waiting for just that shot from Johnny B. And he obliged by guiding the ball straight to them. So that's 11 off the over, but crucially 2 wickets. So
Good
well
comeback,
bowled,
I
Sodhi.
There were 2 boundary hits, but he kept to just 2 other runs in the over.
Yep.
And 2 other dots. So that's really well done by Sodhi. I think he's paid his captain back.
Yeah, well, 2 for 44 is his figures. He's done for the
It's bad.
evening.
Is
It's
Milne
bad,
coming
I
back
think.
in? Yeah.
It is going to be Adam Milne.
Milne has won, and I dare say Saudi, probably.
No, Saudi's
he
bowled
might-
out, isn't he?
No, it's going to be Ferguson, I think.
Yeah, Ferguson, yeah.
So those 2 will finish off, you're right. Only 5 bowlers used, or potentially only 5 used. They didn't try the military medium of Mr. Mitchell. Or I dare say Glenn Phillips and those people can bowl some right arm field. That was not really required.
Where is Adam Milne? I can't find him. Here he is.
Anyway, here he comes.
Well, he's in anyway, over the wicket to Butler, who doesn't really get hold of this again. It's going to go straight to long off. It will get a single for him, so he'll be off and running, but most of it was already off and running. Most importantly, it gets Bairstow onto strike, who's on 84, so he has got 16 runs to get to a ton, and he's got 11 balls potentially to do it, but he might have to farm the strike to use all of them.
If he gets going, really, it'll be 2 or 3 balls. Is all what we know what Bairstow can
Ajit
do.
knows Bairstow.
And Bairstow hasn't really got hold of this. He was looking to pull it square. He ended up just on the bounce to Mitchell, who's at mid-on.
That was almost identical to the shot that Brook got out to.
Yeah, it was.
Right up on the bat, just lobbed to mid-off, but fortunately there wasn't a mid-off there. Good.
Yeah, he was playing for the Birmingham Phoenix, was Adam Milne. Got 10 wickets at 14, best bowling of 4 for 20 in his last game versus the London Spirit at Edgbaston.
Yeah, well
so
played.
he's carrying some very decent form into this. He's got a very swift and busy run-up, and Bairstow nearly swings himself off his feet trying to pull this away. It's beaten him though, and it's through to Tim Seifert. And that's 2 dot balls for Johnny Bairstow, and I think he's ticking a wee bit. I think he can see that potential ton just out of reach.
The run rate has slipped beneath double figures.
Slipped below 10. It has. 182 for 4.
As Ajit says, 1 hit.
Well, 2 hits.
Well, 2 hits, yeah. And
well, 1 hit to get it back over.
If he could, another maximum, of course, would get him into the 90s, and he doesn't get hold of that, and he's going to end up having to take a single. And Butler was under his nose very quickly, backing up. And I think the message to Johnny Bairstow there was, if you can't hit it at the moment, then let me have a go.
Let's exchange strike. Yeah. No, but also very clever bowling. Excellent.
It's very full.
What I'm saying. He's been mixing his lengths very well, and he has enough pace. Ow.
Milne tried to pass it into the stumps, didn't he, with his foot?
Been close?
It would have been out.
No,
no, I think Butler was just.
Would have made it. Very close though.
It's all good-natured. Little bump of shoulders between Butler and Milne, but nothing intentional in it. Milne was focused on trying to guide the ball towards the stumps, and Butler was focused on just trying to get there in time. So it's a very harmless coming together. In comes Milne again. This one is smashed, but only off the inside edge to Mitchell at mid-on. He's been busy in that position. That's about the third ball of the over that it's gone to him, I think. 184 for 4.
Can't help but wonder at the difference in bulk between the two batters. This is a broadsword taking on a rapier, I think.
Well, Johnny B, has noticeably, being kind, spent a lot of time bulking up in the gym. Being less than kind, tucking into Yorkshire puddings.
No, I think it looks he's bulked up in the right places.
Okay. In comes Milne. It's off again, an inside edge, not anywhere near where Johnny B wanted it to go. It will dribble towards square leg. He will get just one more again. It's the end of the over. He will keep the strike though. So he's on 86 is Johnny B going into the final over. It's 185 for 4. Bones.
Jay Grover, hang the fuck on. Did someone just censor the word wank? Bloody hell, Ali. Should have gone to public school, didn't it?
Who did you?
I did, yeah.
Were you wank censoring there?
I did. That was the word I didn't say earlier on.
That was very clever.
I hope Jay is happy now that I've made up for that. Dave Wood, can't believe I'm missing transfer deadline day for this snooze fest.
Well, I can absolutely tell you there will be bugger all happening at Vicarage Road. So I will guarantee that. Ferguson is going to be the man who bowls the last over. Again, Johnny B doesn't get hold of it. He sort of angles it round the corner. There's a man running from leg slip. I can't quite figure out who it is. It does mean...
I think Sodhi.
There's this Sodhi, was it?
But I think we may have jinxed Johnny Best of a good. All that 3-ball talk, he may have needed all 11 by the looks of it.
Well, he's only got 5 balls. He won't have 5 balls because Joss Butler's now on strike. And I don't think Joss Butler is going to be thinking, I'd better just tip and run and give Johnny the strike. I think Butler's got to be thinking, what's the maximum I can get England to?
It's unheard of. They may not make it to 200.
Ferguson in. Butler swings. Gets it up and high over cover. There is a man running around though. It's going to be fielded. It's Finn Allen down there. And it will just get a single. No, get two.
Got 2.
So Butler's kept the strike. And I think we can safely say he may end up carrying his bat. But he will not. Oh, it's Mark Chapman actually. He will end up carrying his bat. Johnny B, one would expect. He won't, though, get himself to 100.
Excellent last 8 balls so far.
It has been. They needed this bowling earlier. Obviously, the dismissal of Brooke has helped. That one, Butler was looking to ramp. They're going to try and take 2, and they should get it. They have.
Right off the bottom of the bat.
Butler's kept the strike. Phillips it was who came in and threw in the end. Well, he's interesting. If he gets a ton tonight, by the way, Phillips, I'm not saying that will, but he's highly unlikely. But if he was to get a ton, he'd become the only the second New Zealander to get 3 centuries in this format of the game. The other one, amazingly, being the weirdo, Colin Munro. Oh, that one was short and bounced and outside of off stump, and Butler again doesn't quite get hold of it. Ferguson is finding a whole variety of ways to deny England
very good bowling.
A big finish here.
It was a far and shot. It was far away from Butler, who's looking all the way to hit to the leg. And Butler is not looking to ramp it up on third man or hit it over point or something. He's trying to pull it over a fine leg which is up in the circle. And they're playing him beautifully here. I think the lengths he's choosing to bowl with his pace, that's perfectly well calculated here from Ferguson. Let's see if Butler can change his stack.
They're well over par for what has been the average first innings score here. Oh, he's got hold of that though. Joss Butler has launched that. It's you can't see the white ball as it travels through the floodlights, but it has gone all the way over long on for one of these. Are we in for a big finish? That was in his arc, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in the slot, that one.
The slot, the famous slot.
Right.
I think Butler just remembered in time. They can hit the ball very hard and very long. Yeah, it does mid-wicket or long on. Why should I
He's
do all
launched
these things?
this. Well, what's wee Lockie got? In he comes.
Oh,
And it's a
good
good ball. It's
ball.
a slower ball. It's a clever ball. It's
That's
a
a
wide.
wide.
So it's 1-more to the score for England. They're on 197. Can they get past that 200 mark? They've got one more ball. They've been allowed to do it. As Ferguson, as Josh Butler tried to pull, didn't get anything on it. Down leg side it went. So
Fast-full
Josh
Yorker
Butler has
also.
another go. And Lockie has one more ball to try and prevent it happening.
Fast full ball outside the half. That's my prediction.
In he comes over the wicket. And he's done it again. This time the perfect slower ball.
But they're gonna
Just
run.
wide off stump. They do run a bye, which will be signalled now by umpire Saggers. And it means England close their 20 overs on 198 for 4. The run rate then just a shade under 10, 9.9. An innings really that was very much about Johnny Bairstow. A magnificent knock for him. He finishes on 84 off 54. 86 off 54, I beg your pardon, not out. Josh Butler, the other not out batsman, 13 off 8 for him. Who else was styled? Clearly Harry Brook with his 67 off 36 in that magnificent stand of about 127 with Bairstow. All Yorkshire. They were going along quite magnificently together. Huge applause from the Lancastrian locals as Bairstow walks off. Moeen Ali, very brief but very entertaining. First ball 6, the classic 6 and out.
Yeah.
The classic 6 and out from him. Of the bowlers, well, most got a fair bit of tap. Pick undoubtedly was probably Adam Milne. Didn't take a wicket, but only went for 23. Tim Southey won for 48, so he went for 12. One for 36. He got Milan for Mitchell Santner. He went for 9. Lockie Ferguson, none for 43. Came back well at the end there with those two clever slower balls. He went for a shade over 10. And Ish Sodhi, double wicket taker, 2 for 44. He went for 11. So we're going to have a short break. And we'll probably get some final social messages before we
Well, the
disappear.
final one here, because it's worth reading out, is from Jay Grover. As someone roughly the same size as Johnny Bairstow, brackets, bit shorter, comma, less ginger, close brackets, I can guarantee our respective bellies will have very different constitutions. Punch Bairstow in the gut, you'd break your hand. Punch me, and the ripples will be felt in Fiji.
Well,
we're up to
there
date.
you go. Right, well, we will be back later. Ajit, thank you from your desert island. Well done for correcting the sound. A world of difference.
Thank you.
I don't know what we're putting on entertainment-wise. We'll get the bear to do that. And see you shortly.
See you all shortly.
Amazing, unbelievable day until we come back for England v Ireland. Oh no, before that there'll be a podcast looking back on this tournament tomorrow.
We'll be recording that tomorrow. It'll be out on Patreon tomorrow. It'll be out on iTunes, on Podbean rather, on Acast, on Spotify on Tuesday. We'll pick the bones out of this. We'll come in with our sore heads. Probably not as sore heads as those people splashing around in the Trafalgar Square fountain, but we'll be here to wrap it all up. But thank you to everyone who's commentated. Thank you to everyone who's tweeted. Thank you to everyone who's listened.
Good night.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you soon. Are you finding the jingle? We just need the jingle that says, we just want the jingle. We want the jingle. We want the jingle.
This is this end has discombobulated all of us.
Sorry, I thought I'd got the thing sorted
Theme
out,
tune,
but theme tunes.
It ends as it began, in chaos. Good night, and see you soon.
Take large, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every
New Zealand and England. New Zealand taking the field. England.
Hi Bear, how are you doing?
Well, welcome back. Time to watch New Zealand's response. Target 199. Looks like Sammy Curran is going to be opening the bowling for England.
It's the Aryan poster boy in his special go faster stripes on his hair.
Here's his jingle.
Is he a batter or bowler? Sam Curran. What's his distinguishing feature? Sam Curran. His dad's from Zimbabwe. Sam Curran. And he's beloved by Liz Yates. Sam Curran.
Just before the game starts, I think I'll say this super chat from Disinterested Handjob and says, Brooke ain't that great. You might be in a minority of one there.
Fair enough. Well,
so
Sam Curran.
Are you doing ball by ball or me, Ajit?
You are.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem
I
at
was
all.
about to set you up. Not doing that.
So anyway, the first ball is not really middle, off the bottom of the bat. Finn Allen, here is his jingle.
We're all living in Finn Allen's town, and he's shutting all the bowlers down. Out of the box, he's hitting fours, over and over, as easy as that.
Second ball from Sam Curran is whizzed past Finn Allen's bat. He tried to play it, but didn't get a bat on it. Through to Butler. 2 dot balls to start off with in the reply.
We see a very specific sort of field, right? So there is a very short catching baton for him, very straightish, and you see that they have some specific plan in mind. They have sort of thought of how to bowl at him. It's very clear that they'll not give him any width or bowl at his stumps.
Yep, this one is on his pads. He just plays it square on the leg side, and Livingston comes in, fields, and that's just one, and they're off the mark. And the other batsman, the other opener, is this man.
South Africa, I think.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah. I think he made his name playing for New Zealand first in this format. It's still his favourite format. He plays all around the world.
Anyway, the left arm Curran in again. Conway is just almost repeat the shot, the left-handed rather than the right-handed. Just it's actually signalled a leg by the umpire. So the score moves on to 2. Conway stays on 0. A lot of waving of arms from Just Butler behind the stumps as the England fielders dash all around the field.
You can see that in the last 15 balls of their innings, England were only able to make 18 runs and lost a wicket. If it becomes a high-scoring chase, depending on how well New Zealand start, it might come down to those amount of runs they missed, maybe 15 runs.
Curran in again, a slightly slower ball, short of the length, and Allen has punched this away. Long on comes dashing in and straight in over the stumps. Lovely throw from Harry Brook. 1 run.
I'm curious, right? What sort of a field they had for Conway previously. There was a catching second 2.5 slip. There was a backward point, and I dare say there may have also been a cover point. I think they know how strong he is through that part of. You can see that now. It's almost like a short third man, but a deep gully, and then there's a backward point. They know he's very strong through there.
Curran in again, prodded to mid-off, and no chance of a run. End of Curran's first over, 3 runs from it. Jason, any messages?
Yep, Jay Grover, he just, can I just preempt the comment? Sam Curran is not little. He's at least 2 inches taller than me, you patronising people. Yes, I called him an Aryan. I didn't call him little, I don't think, because I have seen him in the flesh, and he's stocky, but he's also very powerful. And here we go.
Well, the good news is that Gus Atkinson is coming into the attack, and here is his jingle.
Gus Atkinson, he's not one to complain. He hopes he's not like Jafra, breaking down after every game.
That's cruel.
Why already jinx him? He hardly bowled a ball.
Yeah.
There are similarities with Jofra in sort of the laid-back approach and the pace that's generated. So I could see why that would feature in the jingle.
Let's see. Anyway, he's in. His first ball in international cricket, straight at the batsman, and it's just nudged down the track. And they've come through for quite a sharp, quick single. Oh.
That didn't look like he had any effort into it. It looked so effortless. It's 87 mph.
Fairly short run up actually as well. Actually, quite.
Yeah, he's got the very pigeon-toed approach. He's got short staccato, stuttering runs. Again, very Jofra-like.
Yeah. And I think a very powerful lad, big, tall lad, and looks quite different from his cricket for profile photo with the beard and all. Nonetheless, looks to be very capable.
Oh, this one's off the inside edge and has beaten Rashid at on the 45 on the leg side, but he's managed to recover and restrict them just to the 2. Gets Conway off the mark.
That was 92 mph. It didn't look like there was any effort at all from the bowler. No grunting, no big follow through.
Yeah.
It looked such an economical
bowl.
Yeah, you could see the seam was bolt upright as well as it came through.
Slightly slower ball this time, and Conway can only just jab it into the offside where it's fielded. No chance of a run.
Slightly slower, 89.
Yeah, well, I told you it was slightly slower. It's not in the 90s.
I think most bowlers would be very happy with 89 miles an hour.
Exactly. No, but he started very well. I like the controls of the lengths he's bowling. He's already hurried a very accomplished batsman twice. I'm very curious what he can do.
He's in again, and Conway's decided to dispatch him, and is straight down the throat of the fielder, and Atkinson has taken his very first wicket in international cricket.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at? Oh!
That's a perfect jingle, I think, simply because that was a set piece. It was sort of perfectly set up that he'll bowl a full ball on his middle end leg, and Conway will chip it and it will go straight to that man at deep square leg, and that's exactly how it transpired. Well done for working it out, and well done for executing it.
It's amazing actually how much extreme pace plays with the mind of the batsman. I mean, he could have it makes them rush when they shouldn't really.
Exactly.
They're such good players, they don't need to rush.
I don't see him being able to hit it in front of square, at least not yet right away, not of those lengths.
He couldn't have picked the fielder out better, could he, Ajit?
No, he could have run in a circle, basically, and then pouched it from where he was originally.
Correct. But I also thought, I think Conway hit it up in the air when he could have just dinked it of that same shot. Instead of hitting it all the way, he could have gone for a 4 instead of a 6, let me put it like this. Then it would have gone to him one bounce well in hand, and at least Conway would have seen the bowler through. Another important batsman for New Zealand.
Tim Seifert, the wicketkeeper, is in. If I could find his jingle, I'd play it. But there we go. Here it is.
That looked fast.
They're not call that a wide. That was
no.
Helmet.
It was a good bouncer.
Yeah, that's a good bouncer.
It was rapid.
He was.
Very fast.
He's in again. This one is a fuller of length, and Seaford has played a lovely punch shot through the offside. Moeen is after it, and he pulls it up quite comfortably inside the boundary. But in the meantime, Seaford has run through for 2. End of the second over. New Zealand have moved on to 8-4-1. Jason.
Old Fart at Play says, it's wonderful commentary, brightened up by the evening so far, so much that the wife has left and gone to her friends. I wish it was a test match. Oh, that's a bit harsh.
We do but try.
Ravi, sorry, not Ravi, Jay Grover has bemoaned the fact that we've censored some of his tweets. He says, I don't believe in the afterlife, but I'm Ouijering Ravi up so he's joking, calling you a bunch of milquetoast twats. And David
we
says,
deserve it, Jay.
Controversial opinions. Brooke Guest is better than Harry Brooke, and Gus Fraser was quicker than Atkinson is. Well, Gus Fraser was certainly quick when he was before his back problem came in.
Really? Gus Fraser quick? I thought
Yeah, but he still looked tired after about the third ball, but he was quick in '89 in
Sam
West
Curran
Indies.
is to continue. He's bowling to Allen, who's only succeeded in just lobbing this in the air, and David Milan has just jogged backwards, taken it over his shoulder very comfortably. Oh, Jack, sorry, has taken it, and Finn Allen is out for 3.
The crowd says, the crowd says, the crowd says you're out.
Good catch, actually, running backwards over his shoulder. Very tidily taken.
He's made it look much easier than the catch was actually. That was a very good catch. But also, I think that was a short ball that was coming into his ribcage and he had every chance to actually hit that shot. I think it came on slower than he had expected. That's why he ended up skying it rather than hitting it further. That's the impression I got. Maybe the pitch is holding up in certain parts. Maybe.
I think when the ball's hard, I think England had this, didn't it? I think when the ball's hard, it is just holding into the pitch, but as it gets soft, it was coming through quite nicely. I suspect that the Kiwis will enjoy themselves a bit more from about 7 or 8 overs on. Let's see.
Here's a big banger, Glenn Phillips. He will give it a big smack.
And here's his jingle.
Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Glenn Phillips, Glenn Phillips, Glenn Phillips.
I think that was a cutter actually. That was a cutter from Curran. That's why it came on slower than he had. I think he rolled his fingers over the ball at the very last instant. He was beaten. Finn Allen for pace almost.
Yeah, he caught him quite. He caught it quite high on the bat, didn't he? So not a good shot in the end. Anyway, Curran is back in, feisty little look, and Phillips starts as he means to carry on, pulls it on the square of leg fielder out there. So only 1 run, but anyway, he's off the mark.
When you look at this game from how it's set up, you would want this partnership to carry on for 6 to 8 overs if you are the Kiwi team.
Yeah, New Zealand need that, don't they now? So.
I mean, Chapman can hit, Mitchell can stabilize, Santner, Milne can hit a bit, but after that there's not a lot. Saudi is probably a couple of good hits and out, so they'll need these two.
Curran in again. This one's outside off stump. It's guided by Seafoot, and the man on 45 actually stops it. But young Atkinson actually fielded well, stopped a 4. They've come through for a single, a little bit hasty in the end because I don't think they were expecting Atkinson to stop that, but
exactly.
He's moved
how
across very well.
He threw it down.
The batsman was comfortably in.
You say young, he's the same age, if not slightly older than Curran. He's 25, 26.
Oh, but
that's
young.
young.
But he's very inexperienced.
Yeah.
Curran in again. This one's right on middle stump, and Phillips has just jabbed that into the leg side, set off, hairs off to get a quick single in. Jacks comes in. They actually get there quite sensibly. Poor lad there is Ali G in the crowd. I'm not quite sure why he's come as Ali G, but anyways.
Wow, that must be a very hot looking suit. It looked like plastic. Never mind.
It is.
So coming back to what happened, I saw Glenn Phillips ran straight on the pitch, straight down the pitch, in where the balls are expected to pitch. But probably it's a shortened game, so they'll not talk much about the pitch condition.
Yeah.
Maybe he may get a warning the way he ran.
Curran in again. This is a slower ball. Seaford just jabs it into the offside. Man from point comes in, fields, and a comfortable single. New Zealand gallop on to 12 for 2 in the third over.
This is a good start if you're England, especially. The boundaries are fairly big here. There'll be a lot of running to be done, and
They didn't look fairly big
when England were batting.
No.
well, you saw the guns Mr. Bairstow backed, or the class which Mr. Brook used. They're so classy, but yes.
Curran in to complete his second over. This is a slower ball. It's short, and Phillips just pulls it to the deep square leg fielder and adds a run to the score. End of the third over. New Zealand have moved on to 13 for 2. Jason, any messages?
On YouTube, Pokey Bumfigure says, "Hey Dara," talking to someone else on YouTube, Dara ZZ. Was that Seinfeld a huge copyright strike for Tim Seifert? I think it might have been. We'll have to find out in the post. And he also says, "How is Gus doing? Dangerous? Well, he looks sharpish."
Yeah.
It's been a good
continuing,
debut so far,
yeah,
and he is going to continue.
Continue.
And have we got anything on?
Quite an easy game, he said.
YouTube.
Come in, bowl, take wickets.
GC Naked Radio Fun Pornbot says, "There's a lot of balls in pouches going on." Apropos of absolutely nothing, I think.
Balls in pouches, they're always involved in cricket. So, Atkinson to start his second over as an international test cricketer. And Phillips punches this firmly to mid-off, where Moeen Ali in this field, but it's gone straight to him. No chance of a run. Just watching his run-up. It's very, very compact, efficient. Yeah, it's good action.
He's hardly putting any effort. It doesn't look very hard on his back. I think it's been nicely choreographed, but just a small correction. He has not yet played Test cricket for England, but one hopes he gets to take the new ball.
He's in the game again, just outside off stump, and Phillips has hit a beautiful square punch, and that has gone all the way to the boundary for one of these. That was a quality shot, that well played.
He crouched low, he rose with the ball and hit it on the top of its bounce. All he had to do, he knew, was to beat the infield. There's enough timing on that shot.
Yeah.
That was well played, actually.
Yeah.
Atkinson in again. This one's much closer on his leg stump. Punched away by Phillips, and again they gallop through for a quickish single. It was always there, I think, but they didn't want to take any chances. Sam Curran fields it.
One thing you see is, there are different kinds of approaches when playing fast, very fast ball. Some people like to stand just outside the crease. Some people, I think at least when I see how Glenn Phillips bats, he bats all the way very deep in the crease. It's very interesting that he has that approach.
Atkinson in again. Seifert is well back in his crease and just offers a defensive prod. No chance of a run. The bowler fields off his own bowling. Chris Jordan on screen at the moment. He's looking quite serious.
Well, he's watching his teammate.
Was wondering probably when he'll get a go. It says he'll get a go.
He'll get a go, yeah.
Well, he's very much a known quantity. He's been playing really well this year, so I would be surprised if we go 2-0 up. He'll be in one of the last two games.
Atkinson in again. Seifert just prods this square on the offside. English fielder dashes in from just behind point, shies at the stump, misses, but it's backed up. So there's only another run added to Seifert's score. He's moved on to 5 from the 6 he's faced. Phillips has moved on to 8 from the 6 he has faced.
Well, at least it looks like both of these bat from well within the crease rather than straddling the crease or playing from outside the crease. At least when they're facing Atkinson. This is an interesting approach, because what happens if you miss one straight? Dead, I think.
Okay, yep. It's almost an identical kid.
It is.
Jabbed into the onside and hairs off to get his single, and actually it's really quite comfortable. So at the end of the fourth over, New Zealand have moved on to 20 for 2 in pursuit of their target of 199. Jason, messages.
Jay Grover has pierced the veil into the afterlife. He says, "Sadly, Ravi has no opinion about you not reading my swears, but he is concerned about A, his cats, B, Delhi being rubbish. Also, he wants a drink, but that might be a bit of projection on my part." And
oh God, please tell me there's drinks in heaven.
I really hope there's drinks in heaven.
Or you're always high. You never need to drink. You're high on life.
Oh, this is interesting.
Okay, so it looks like Sammy Curran is going to continue, bowl his third over.
I think they don't want to introduce a spinner outside of the
power play,
in the power
yeah.
play. That's why. Although I would have put, well, certainly don't want Moeen to bowl against right-handers.
There's a chance that they're going to take him on. Hence all this discussion. Probably they're considering where he'll bowl, what sort of fields they want. You see two people in the deep on leg side, if I'm not wrong. There's a
Curran is into Phillips, just prods it out into the offside, extra cover. David Milan, I think it was, fills it, no chance of a run. Tidy bowling from Sam Curran at the moment. His third over,
he's
1 for 7.
Looking very much like the player of the T20 World Cup at the moment. Absolutely. In his bowling.
And they are trying to deny New Zealand a fast start here. They are trying to force them to go at 10 run over for the remaining of the innings. So
Curran in again. This one's short and slower. Phillips has to fetch it from outside off stump. Doesn't really get hold of it. Gets hold of it enough for it to find its way about 3/4 of the way to the boundary, but it's fielded back in with Butler. They've just jogged gently through. Phillips moves on to 10. New Zealand on to 21 for 2. 4 balls remaining in the power play.
you can see the little bit of there's another over after this, of course, but there's a little bit of breathing.
Oh, yes, 6, isn't it? Yeah.
Breathing deep. They're settling in. They're sort of setting themselves up here.
And again, just outside off stump, he's firmly bowling at that extra stump outside off stump is Sammy Curran. And Seaford again just punches in the offside. No chance of a run, gone straight to the English fielder. Dot ball.
Of these two players, I think Seifert is, even though he's adventurous enough, he's the more compact of these two. And I think if you bowl that channel, the fourth stump channel all the time, from a left-hander who's naturally going to angle the ball across him, he's going to respect you. He's not going to try any yahoos. Sudden, laps.
Again, this one is a slower ball. This might be a wide.
Oh, it went on top of the stumps, I thought.
Yeah, no, it's been called a wide. Yeah, I think it did go just down leg side. Seaford got himself into a bit of a tangle there.
Well, it was the back of the hand slower ball that was down the leg side, so I'm not surprised it's a wide. I am surprised he didn't manage to hit it, I think. But also, looking at the lineup, I was wondering where the third seamer is, and of course it is Bryden Cars.
Yeah.
So he could have certainly bowled in this power play and saved Sam for an extra over at the end.
Oh!
That's a no ball, I think. It slipped out of his hand.
It slipped out of his hand. I suspect that was it's been called a wide, in fact, not
why
a
is
no
that a
ball.
wide?
That's the back of the hand one that
the ball
goes badly.
Yeah, the ball actually ended up going about 10 yards past the wide of the batsman.
I don't agree with this decision.
That should be surely a no ball.
Yes, it pitched outside the cut strip. That's a no ball.
It should be a no ball on height as well as being off the cut strip. That's poor.
He got away with it, otherwise a no ball will follow a free hit, right? So a free hit will follow a no ball. I think he got very lucky there. Umpire may have blinked for a second. Missed it. No, it's been no ball. See, there's a free hit.
It was no-balled in the end. Anyway, Curran is in again, and it's a short pitched. It ends up being very high outside the off stump, and Seaford tries to swat it. Really doesn't get hold of it, so England have got away with one there with the free hit.
Well done.
Yes.
It was clever lengths to bowl. Not go anywhere close into the fuller part of the pitch. Stay back and stay outside the traditional hitting range, right? Outside off. That's good thinking, I think.
Anyway, Curran runs in again. Busy run. And Seaford has got hold of this one, has managed to get it through the inner ring, and this one has actually gone all the way to the boundary. Yeah, Pearce, the two England fielders in the cover region, and good shot, good looking shot in fact. Seaford gallops to 9 from his 10 balls faced. Curran comes in to complete his third over, hopefully. This one again down that channel just outside off stump. This is well guided away by Seaford. This has got a good chance of getting to the boundary, and it does. It actually beats the fielder. And 4 more to the score. Jason, messages.
Yes, I shall get these in before
the changeover.
Yep. Kiwi Ride says, thanks heaps for keeping us entertained during my early morning jog. Dave says, can we talk a bit slower because you're a ball ahead of the TV and I want them to catch up. And Jacob says, Ralphie and I had long conversations about how our alcohol might bring us quietude in death. Looks like the lad beat me. And with that, I'm off and I'll be back if we don't bowl them out.
After 5 overs, England were 39 and New Zealand were 31 for 2. So, yeah, England ahead on every metric, one would suggest. I'm being joined by Hendo. Steve is going to stay on. For some reason, this bloody screen's gone off again. It's very strange, this monitor.
Are my glasses over there?
Are your glasses over here? Where would they be? Am I sitting on them?
Brian cast bowls. I'll do it while the Bears sorting things out. He gets another outside edge, Phillips, and that's running away. Again, despite the pursuit of Adil Rashid, it's going to go down to the third man boundary. So successive balls, although bowled by different bowlers, disappear off the outside edge for 4.
Yeah, that's a shame, but there you go.
Well, Bryden Cost was man of the match, wasn't he? Player of the match, should we say? Person of the match, as I've seen written recently.
Well, he's a man, and he was man of the match.
That's true, in my opinion.
Cars is in, and that's defended up the pitch, and they will get through for a single.
Always looks like an effort, doesn't it? When a batsman goes back, and then he's trying to take the quick run to mid-on, and it's almost like it seems to take him a couple of seconds to actually get forward motion.
Phillips has done that about 6 times
now.
That's
Yeah.
his 6 singles have come.
And you think there's no way he's going to get down the other end, but
he's got to get that unit moving somehow.
yeah. It's like a creature running off the edge of a cliff, and then in a cartoon, and suddenly realising and looking down.
Cars is in again. This time it's pulled by Seifert out towards deep mid wicket. Who's out there?
Brooke, I think.
Is it Brooke?
Yeah,
Harry Brooke. Builds it. Then to get 1.
Yep.
Yeah, just a single. 37 for 2. Not a bad recovery. Yeah, these was wickets in the last game.
Could do with a few of those.
Yeah. He bowled well, didn't he, at Durham?
He bowled very well. I think the first couple of overs, and he went for 2 runs or 3 runs, something like that. And then he picked up some wickets as well.
He's in again. Full, driven hard, straight back down the ground by Phillips. That is a good shot. Is it going to make it? Yeah, there's no one down there.
Yep.
We're still inside the power play, aren't we, actually?
Yep.
So 4 more runs. Oh.
That was a worrying. Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Both Hendo and I looked at it.
It's that's the Velvet Underground 4, I'm calling it.
Start.
Driven, but straight at the man at extra cover. And there is no run. Phillips is on 19 off 13, Seifert 14 off 12. His first over this time has gone for 10 so far, with 1 to go. Is Harry Brooke going to get a bowl now just because he batted so well?
Hopefully not.
Why not?
His dibbly dobblies might do all right.
He's a dobber.
A dobber.
He is a
Proper
dobber.
dobber.
Cast, last ball of his first over. Bowling at Phillips. On the back foot. Punches it out again to that extra cover fielder. And this time they get through for a single. And that ends the over. He'll retain the strike. 42 for 2. Over to you.
Jay Grover says, Ravi and I had long conversations about our alcoholism might bring us quietude in death. Looks like the lad beat me.
Yeah, it's very sad. Well, take it easy, Jay.
And then Jay Grover says, fuck you, Bear. Metric? You've been clever now, you bucket.
You bucket. That's a great insult. You bucket.
And we're up to date.
What was I talking about being metric?
I don't know. It might have been a while ago.
Maybe it was on Wednesday.
Yeah, could be.
Who knows?
Just looking at the array of strokes that have been played mainly by Glenn Phillips in the power play, 20 off 14. Adil Rashid will come into the attack.
Okie dokie. Let's have a little jingle for him. He goes like this.
Adel Rashid on the 45. Adel Rashid on the 45. Adel Rashid on the...
Comes in to bowl. First ball is a leg break, which is driven out towards long off. Who will have to go round to field it. Sammy Cowan out there. They'll get back for 2.
So arguably, Livingston with his mixture of leg breaks and off breaks was more effective the other night. Got more turn, didn't he?
Yeah. That he did. Rashid getting into his stride. Bowls. Ooh, that one skidded on, and Phillips attempted to cut it. We got an under edge. It was taken by Butler, and there's no run. Into the ground, I should say, not taken, obviously.
Sadly.
Otherwise, I'd be yay because Phillips batted well. I mean, he wasn't the paciest of innings. That's a horrible delivery. Is that going to be out?
It
oh
is.
my
It
word!
is.
That really is. I'm sorry. Shit takes wickets. That was a filthy full toss outside off stump, and Glenn Phillips has just spanked that straight down long on's throat. It should have been out of the bloody ground, but anyway, it's one of these.
The first thing I learned from Gorilla Cricket, shit takes wickets. Shit takes wickets, inducing a poor shot that don't clear the wickets. Yeah, shit takes wickets. Shit takes wickets.
Had a little bit to do, didn't he? Did Harry Brook? Just had to make sure he didn't step back on the onto the sponge, and he had to just hop in the air a little bit as well. So it wasn't exactly down his throat, but
we don't need him to bowl though if he can take catches like that.
No, I mean he was right. He's quite handy that he's a tall lad, really, because I mean he did have to stretch up.
He must have got that Phillips quite low on the bat, I think.
Yeah, no, he was looking at the toe as he walked off.
Yeah,
that's a shame. Glenn Phillips is one of their more destructive and better batsmen, but he goes, and in comes the new man. Who is that? Mitchell Sand?
No, it's Mark Chapman. Isn't it?
Mark Chapman, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Who I've never really seen do a lot of good, actually. I have to be honest.
Well, he got a good ball from Moeen the other night, but actually I was looking. I think he's got ODI and T20 international hundreds.
Well,
he's played a lot of matches, 57.
Yeah, well, he has, but he's never looked that good when I've watched him. Anyway. His first ball turns back into him. Standard leg break to the righty, but obviously as an off spinner to lefty, and it plays it up to long off for a single. Maybe today he's going to change my mind on him, because he came out of Hong Kong sixes, didn't he? Or
That's
something
right,
stupid like that.
Yeah.
I remember when he first came into the side, it was a couple of years ago, 3 years ago now. Maybe it's longer, maybe time flies that quick. Adil Rashid is in to Seifert, who just punches down up to long off, and they'll get a single. So 46 for 3 after, 7 after this, so 13. They need basically 140 plus.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at
14 and over.
They're looking at over 11, 12 and over, aren't they?
Yeah, already.
I said England took a while to get going until Brook and Bairstow really got together.
Yeah. Adil Rashid tosses that one up, and Chapman drives it down to long on again. Just need a couple of good overs to kick it on, don't you? And two people can do it.
Yeah.
It's another single down the long on. End of the 7th, 47 for 3.
Only one more message from our good friend Jay Grover, saying, I'm obviously in a vulnerable state. I laughed at Bear's Velvet Underground joke. It were 5 minutes ago, so I've forgotten it.
Yeah, I was talking about metric, because I can't remember anything to do with metric.
Yeah, well, and that's it. I can't read the YouTube ones from here, so
I'm not sure whether those ones have been read. Last one was from Pokey Bumfinger saying, how is Gus looking? Dangerous. Yeah, he's looking quick. He looks good. I very much like the look of him, I have to say. For all forms of cricket, actually, you need that pace, and he doesn't seem to put too much stress on his body with his action.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Might take him out to India, do you reckon? About extra pace. I mean, you'll only get about 4 overs a game.
Oh,
I mean,
for the World Cup, you mean?
He's in the World Cup squad.
Another change of bowling.
Yep. Pretty poor ball, Moeen Ali. Ooh. In. Played down to the man on the 45. Seifert gets through just.
Well, who are you going to take
And
to
gets
India when you're talking about a test series after Christmas as a quick bowler? I mean, how many are you going to take?
Not that many.
2?
Well,
the most. Mark Wood, I would have thought would be nailed on, didn't you?
Well, Mark Wood is down to playing that the UAE T20, which I think overlaps to a certain degree. So I'll be interested to see what happens there. But would you really, I don't know, would you put him out there and make him break his back for 5 overs on those pitches?
Well, if he's only got 5 overs in a test match, in an innings, I mean,
maybe.
if they have wickets like last time, let's face it, the Pacers are literally going to get a new ball for an over or 2.
Yeah.
And then, we were talking about this earlier on the podcast as well, like, who do you take up as the backup spinners from England? Do they end up with a bunch of all sorts, like they took to Pakistan? I mean, Livingston was basically going to be a third spinner in Pakistan until he got injured on the first day of the first test, didn't he? Or first time we were in the field. That's just worked to mid-wicket and there's no run.
And Mo Nally's just come on to bowl, talking to spinners.
Yes. And he should have a jingle, which I shall play after this ball, which is swept by Seifert out to deep mid-wicket. He shall get 2 runs, I believe, as Sammy Curran fielder. This man is bowling.
Our beard shouldn't touch. Move over, Amlo. I like it too much. Move over, Amlo. You're one hairy dish. I love unconditionally. It's Moeen Ali.
Next ball is just worked again out to mid-wicket. It'll be another single.
I'm trying to think who's missing from. I mean, obviously Kane Williamson. But other guys, they might be in this T20. I mean, Will Young?
Yeah, maybe he's out of favour.
Was Ross Taylor retired?
He's retired.
Ross Taylor's retired.
Yeah.
Guptill
is just playing franchise now, I think.
Trent Bolt?
He's back for the ODIs.
He's back for the ODIs, yeah. And that's played out to point by Chapman. Gets himself another single.
I can't remember whether Henry Nicholls plays in this form of the game much.
I don't really rate Nicholls, I've got to say.
I don't. I mean, I don't particularly. I don't like watching him bat for some reason.
Moeen bowls, reverse swept. Whoever's at the man on the 45 on the third man got a little bit wrong-footed there, didn't he? He kind of went the wrong way and then the ball had gone past him. Liam Livingston tries to get round from deep cover, can't, and actually it makes itself, it's a good shot, found a space, makes itself to the boundary for 4 runs.
A bit of slow motion 4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just wasn't watching it. Is there someone there? Oh yes, there is. But he's not going to get round to it.
And watching any of the US Open?
I watched a bit, yeah. The Brits are doing quite well, some of them.
Yeah, Murray went out.
Yeah, well.
Jay Grover tells us that Chapman played for Hong Kong because he came from his mother's womb, not coming from the Hong Kong Sixers.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Jay. Oh. 56 for 3.
Another change of bowling.
Another change of bowling. So
3 spinners in 3 different spinners in 3 consecutive overs.
Indeed. This is jingle. His first ball, he bowled well the other night, but his first ball, Chapman has come down the track, and he has been absolutely leathered back over his head for
That was one of his Hong Kong sixes.
Yeah.
It was a good
I mean,
one.
Livingston bowls off breaks to left-handers and leg breaks to right-handers.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
Well, probably because he hasn't got googly.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Toss that one up. It's full
that
toss.
was a leggy, though.
Yeah, it was a leggy. It was a full toss leggy, though. They got smashed out to the square leg. Square leg, deep mid wicket. It's 4 runs anyway.
2 + 2 is a member.
Picked that off middle stump. He'd have missed it. He'd have been out plumb LBW, but it was a loopy, floaty, full toss. And he got down on one knee and swept it hard. That one he's just nudged around the corner. Ooh, to the man on the 45. He whips it in. It's good running from the guy backing up. I'm sure there's a mancade on here. I'd like to know.
Oh, we're not bringing that up again, are we?
No, please, please.
Or do we talk stumpings?
No, let's not go there either.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, now.
Oh, he's fallen over
He's
again.
fallen
Is that
over
Johnny?
again. It is Johnny. Oh, he's limping too. Maybe that's to do with his ankle. Big heave by Seifert. Got turned, got the outside edge, flew in the air. I'm not sure it would have carried to Bairstow anyway, but his back foot kind of went away from him on the ground. He slipped a little. Could have got across
never
it.
carry it.
Never have
Yeah.
carried it.
Wouldn't have
Never
caught
have caught it. It was too far from him.
Dew. It must be the dew.
Could be the Jew. Bit of a recovery. This is a good over for New Zealand. On the back foot, clouts it out again towards deep cover, but this time there is a man out there, and it'll just be the singles. Bryden Cast out there.
Yeah, 16 off 5. 1 ball to go. So this is just getting them up there, isn't it? It's not, well, it's not getting them up there. It's still a long way to go. But they need, 2 or 3 of these overs, don't they?
Yes.
And it's certainly reflecting England's innings, but they struggled early on and then seem to open up and find it much easier to find the boundary.
And now that's not
That's
got
down
enough
the
on it.
throat.
No,
That is
no.
out.
That's down the throat.
Having done that, Chapman has gone. He's tried to lump another one, this time over long off, but he's really not got enough of it. It was quite apparent when it came off the bat that it wasn't going to have the legs. And straight down the throat of long off. I didn't see who's that.
It's Harry Brook again, I think.
Can't keep him out of the game.
Can't keep him out of the game.
Top
It
edge,
did bite a little bit, came into him, and he
Mm.
hit it slightly higher on the bat than I think he wanted to. And
Liam enjoyed that.
yeah, Liam did enjoy that. Got his man in the end, and Mark Chapman has to go. Looked good for a little while, but not very long, because he's only got 15. Strike rate's good though, so all is well with the world.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Did a little skip after he'd hit the ball there, didn't he?
I think it's just leaning
Got a
back
few
bit too
messages
much.
if you want them.
Yeah, go for it.
Jay Grover, I love and respect Mark Wood, but the wood life is all kinds of bobbins. Dave Wood says, I can tell you one thing about Trent Bolt. His mouth is mighty small. Jay Grover again. I want to write a sweeping biography of Guptill. It will be Shakespearean, but with forklifts.
New batsman at the crease is Daryl.
Ooh,
Daryl
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Forgot about him. He's good.
And then Jay finishes off with, what the fuck did you mean by Jay, you squirrely bear?
Son of an old black funny on Peep Show wrote that book. Oh, Daryl, not David Mitchell.
Just wondering in this team whether Daryl Mitchell should be batting a little bit higher.
Quite possibly. That is pulled out towards deep square leg by Seifert. Gus Atkinson fielding out there. It'll be a single.
Another change of bowling.
Oh
England.
God, I'm not playing his jingles again. They only get them once.
Bryden Cast
Bryden
back.
Cast. That's my rule in T20. So
I
you
agree
only
with
get a
you.
jingle once.
Well, it's just he's really, ringing the changes, isn't he? 4 different bowlers in 4 consecutive overs.
Not letting them settle.
Well, that's true. That's true. But then again, it doesn't really enable your bowler to settle in
I
some
think
respects.
wow, these days, this day and age, I think they're used to it. Carson again, that's down the leg
Wide.
side. That should be a wide. It is not
It
given
is.
as a wide.
So what do they need? 125 off 11.
10 and a bit.
Yeah.
It's 12 and over.
And 4
Over
and only
12 and over.
and 4 wickets already gone.
Well, if Mitchell gets going, he can...
Yeah, Mitchell is crucial, really.
Gas is it in? Oh wow, that's gone through everything.
gone.
Mitchell
Not out.
is not
at all.
out. A big appeal by.
Must review. They look confident.
Well, they did look confident. It's gone through, and there's a big appeal from both
Both
Butler.
Cast and Butler. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those ones that's gone between bat and pad very quickly and completely stumped the batsman's all over the place. Could have hit anything. Could have hit the pad. Could have hit the bat.
Just did him for pace, really, didn't he?
Very much so. I mean, it's gone over the stump, so he can't be LBW.
That's just quite a
I
good
think
off-cutter, isn't it?
Well, actually, it might. I think that's just clipped the front, the top of the back pad. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I
There's
think
no
it
bat.
has. I think it might hit bat as well, though.
No, I don't think there's a bat there.
Maybe it didn't get his bat down quick enough.
No,
As you
it's
say,
too
it was
far
definitely
outside
being
off.
prepared.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there is bat. There is
Definite
bat.
The Bears' eyes work better than ours, Hendo.
It also did hit the back pad.
Did hit the back pad, but it's a very slight inside edge, isn't it? Yeah, he's gone.
Good review.
Yeah, very good review.
Very good review.
A very good ball.
So another one-sided game is appearing here. Not at the races, really.
I'm only getting my one ball by ball at this rate.
Well, you will refuse to do it. I don't know. What am I going to play? Let's play that one.
I won't look back, 'cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
That was sharp from Bryden.
It was.
I didn't think he was as quick as that, but that was quick.
He is pretty quick. Think he's got a chance of bowling in a test side?
Yeah, but you're going to get back into that argument, aren't you? Certainly with me. If you're looking at John Turner as well, I mean, the idea of the two spearheads being South African born is, I find, a little bit of a struggle, to be honest. We've been over that in podcasts, haven't we? But
we have. I don't know why you're so. I don't know.
Well,
the way of modern. I mean, Jesus Christ!
I know it is.
Look, I'll tell you one thing. Like the amount of Africans who run in marathons and long distance runners for Netherlands, anywhere in Northern Europe, UAE, Dubai, people now them ask where the money is, and that's just the way of life.
Just don't tell Hendo I was born in Mombasa. It really upset him.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you? There's a big Kenyan connection then in here, isn't there? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not. You're not trying to play for England, are you?
No,
not anymore.
Not anymore.
No. I gave up the dream a couple of months ago.
Just a short while ago.
Yes.
Decided it was just too far. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. I think people, it's not just us. I think there's a lot of teams that.
No, I mean, New Zealand have taken in quite a few.
Devon Conway,
and plenty of others. Neil Wagner is another one.
Yep.
There's a few of them. I've got some messages. Should I catch up?
Yeah, go for it.
Wibbling away?
Yep.
Dave Woods says, that's the most useless thing Mark Chapman has done since the John Lennon incident.
Yeah, we had that joke the other night.
Funny.
Sorry,
Did
mate.
we? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an old one.
Maybe in the
sorry.
green room, actually.
Warren, Yoko Ono can't be happy Mark Chapman is out. And then Jake Grover says, one for Hendo. Do you remember Kyle Mills? I thought he were mint, but the stats proved me wrong.
Well, the new man in is Mitchell Santner, and his first ball is clipped out to mid-wicket, and there's no run. He has a jingle that I quite like, even though I think it was done quickly for the IPL.
Santner baby, get some drift into the pads for me. Been an awful good Kiwi. Santner baby, and dart them in quickly tonight.
I do remember Kyle Mills, and I think he was a solid performer.
He was quite quick. Am I thinking of the same guy?
No, probably not.
Clipped aerially by Santner. It doesn't quite carry out to Liam Livingstone. It's a deep square leg, and it'll be a signal. I mean, the other way. I mean, it's not just South Africans as well. I mean, you look at all those teams in the UAE and Canada and all these places that are just packed full of expat Indians, like literally whole sides of Indians who've.
Yeah, I know. I understand that, but I mean that's slightly different, isn't it? Because England has a long setup behind it. It has a massive professional game. Which these countries don't have.
Well, yes, but I mean they essentially do it so they can be better. They could pick fucking 10 or 11 Canadians or Dubai people, but they'd all be shit. So that's why they do it, That's driven up to Moeen Ali, who fumbles it a little bit at mid-off. Did they even go? They didn't go for the run, though.
No.
One ball left in our little stint. Then who's coming in then? Tony's going to take over for me. Jason's coming in. Steve's down here for again because he's got to go off for a dinner appointment later. So he's
supper, not dinner.
Not high tea.
No.
When someone says high tea, I expect someone to sit in a really big
chair.
Like a baby.
Get your bib on.
Yeah.
Last ball of our stint. So,
shot.
Nice shot. Cypher pulls it around the corner. Good save by Adil Rashid down at pretty fine leg actually, and they get back for 2. The score moves on to 77 for 5. Santner will have strike. 10 overs gone. They require 199 as Hendo's bloated body leaves his seat. I knew that would get him going. They'll be back in a second.
Alternative cricket commentary. Bringing you laughs, bringing you jingles, bringing you joy. We are Gorillas. We need your... Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket.
And we're back. And
those worms aren't very different. I can't believe that.
they're not. We were saying that in the green room that they actually, New Zealand were actually ahead of England at the end of the power play.
On runs.
On runs.
They were, yeah, 42 for 2 New Zealand were. 40 for 1 England. Since then, of course, New Zealand have lost 3 more wickets. And it is Santner who's facing Adil Rashid and plays him off the back foot defensively into the offside. No run. He puts his glasses onto bat, doesn't he, Santner?
Yes, it always looks strange to me wearing
And
glasses.
it definitely takes
We had
5 years off him age-wise, I reckon.
Yeah, we had a discussion about this in the last game where you don't want your contacts to
In comes
wander
Rashid.
around.
That's wide of the left-handers off stump, and again, Santner can't really lay too much on it.
And what else was
Once
the
more, it's a
gripping
dot ball.
conversation in the green room while I've been
Well,
busy out here?
A lot of it was about what beer Bear must be drinking to create quite such a guff, odorous guff. As this one is guided away backward a point.
And you
Just
weren't
a
even
single.
here.
No, I'm talking about the green room. No.
Well, he did one in here as
Oh,
well.
did he? Oh. 78 for 5. Adil Rashid has put the cork back into the bottle. And that one again is too good for Seifert this time, the right-hander, who cannot get it off the square and puts it straight to short extra. A very thoughtful-looking Tim Southey is chatting to Lockie Ferguson. Lockie Ferguson, every inch the sort of the beach bum look, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's just lobbed up in the air, and he's going to get a run for it. It evaded Rashid on the turn. I think it's Moeen Ali. Yes,
Moeen
it
as well,
was.
yeah.
Who was at
between them and
mid-off.
behind them? That was a bit
But
of a lucky
somehow
one, wasn't it?
neither could put on enough of a spurt
Well,
to get to it.
they're
and
not the
it's
most,
one more to the score.
Well, no one would have got to
Rashid tossed up, uppishly
Nice shot.
past extra cover. That might go all the way, you know. Yes, it
Ooh.
will. It's a very elegant and easy 4 runs for Mitchell Santner. All about the placement and the timing, and definitely not the power.
Jake Over says, I'm now writing a letter to the Daily Mail, signed a Dubai person.
A Dubai person. Okay, fair enough.
And
really wind up Hendo, so a South African person.
The current run rate 7.5. They require nearly 13 is what they're able to try and haul down this total. So this one, as it did at Chesterley Street, seems to be going England's way. We're going to see a bit more Surrey action.
Oh my word.
It was all Yorkshire with the bat. It's been a lot of Surrey with the ball.
They're going through
and it
all the
is
spin
going
options
to be,
today.
They are gonna. They said they'd be having a look at everyone, and that's just what they're doing. We'll jingle up this man in a minute. It's wide of off stump, punched into the onside. They should get a single. They should in fact come back for 2. I'm sure they will.
No, they
as
don't.
young
No.
Atkinson. So again, that was all Surrey.
Oh, there's Kane Williams.
There's Kane. He's got to try and get himself fit. It's this man bowling, by the way.
Who knows how long he's here for? Slips off before the bill. Will Jacks last long after COVID? If you want him,
Comes Jacks.
his will.
Flicked off his legs by the left-handed Santner. That will be just a single this time. Down to Livingstone, who's at deep mid-wicket.
How old is Tim Southey now?
How old is Tim Southey? I
Looks
can
looks
tell you
about
that.
20. In
He's
that. No,
34.
No, he looks
Yeah, I
about
was going to say
20.
34-ish.
He's 34 is Tim Southey.
Yeah.
That one is flicked off his legs by the right-hander. Down to cast it backward to square.
He's
and
got
then
good
another
genes.
single. Tim Southey.
Yeah.
He's certainly got lots of hair.
He's got buckets
Which
of it,
I
yeah.
assume is all his own. I'm sure it is.
Baby face assassin still. Very good.
It is a wee bit.
Yeah, Jax is
Round the
bowling well
wicket
here.
comes
Oh,
Jax. Oh, he gets a
sorry
little
about
bit of turn too. But it's too
Sorry.
short. Thought it was going to go down to 4 too long off, but there is a man down there. It's Sam Curran. You just get Surrey wherever you look.
Yeah, it's all over.
Something Surrey-ish is happening, Jason.
This is Old Trafford, isn't it? Not the Oval.
Well,
No,
exactly.
that was later on in the series, I think.
Just checking.
It's one wicket. Well, there was the Jax took the catch, and was it Atkinson who'd bowled? No, Curran who'd bowled, and then Atkinson had taken the first one. This is pulled away around the corner, just slightly backward a square. Curran again is in the action. One more to the score, so he's gone for 4 from 4. England will take that. I think Will Jax will
5
take
from
that.
5, in fact.
Oh, 5 from 5.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, looks good, but you're still getting further and further behind.
Well, they are 88 for 5, 199 to win. Remember, and
Bowled
been
him!
bowled. He has swung and missed. Has Mitchell Santner? He was aiming high over mid wicket. There was just a hint of turn.
It was a good ball.
Pinned back, middle and off, and Will Jax has got himself a wicket. Very happy he is too. Good way to finish that over. Only 5 from it. The wicket of Mitchell Santner, and the wheels are coming off
Right
at the
to
moment.
the
I
gates.
think.
Oh dear.
There was nothing I could change. I was gonna go out strange.
And that, I think, was the end of the over.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Over to you, Jace.
James Jago says, "These worms aren't very different. Is someone trying to steal work from me?" Well, is that something you would have said, Jay? And of course, I think for the first time tonight, it says,
Oh, hello, Anna.
"I like to think of Mitchell Santner as an honorary fast bowler because he's tall and gangly and lovely looking, with all the weirdness of a spin bowler and glasses."
Well, Anna, what do you think of Middlesex's new signing? There's a question for you.
Well,
Why does he wear glasses?
Giant Yadav, or
Yeah, Giant Yadav. I don't know if
who's
he's
not
a
so giant. He's quite slim, really.
Yes, exactly. Adam Milne is the new man. Let's give him a bit of a welcome. I think we should. Where is the lad? Lord knows. Where is he?
He is there because I jingled him.
Oh, here he is. Yes, here's Adam. Well, he nearly got. What a stop that was! Nearly got himself a boundary with his first ball. But
But
it
Harry
was
Brook again.
Harry Brook
He's having a match, isn't he?
diving to his right down there on the deep cover boundary. Will deny him that, and it will just end up with 2. It's Bryden
It's
Cast,
Cast.
actually.
It's Cast, actually. Apologies.
It's Bryden Cast. Don't dive on that shoulder, Bryden Cast. You don't want another promising England bowler down.
Sounds like a song, Tony.
Don't dive on that
Don't
shoulder,
dive
Bryden
on
Cast.
Cast.
Well, that is his jingle, in fact. Back foot, punched away by Milne. Will get himself a single, I think. It's going to, yes, you've guessed it, little Sammy
There
Curran.
must be 3 Sam Currans on the field.
Well, he is. He's like one of those footballers. You say he's
all over the park.
Yeah.
When I first started supporting Watford, I remember a player called Dixie Hale. And the chant was, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where, Dixie Hale. As that one is guided to point by Seifert, he'll get himself a single. Someone shut the window and now opened it again. 12 for 0.3 overs bowled, 93 for 6. Seifert is doing pretty well, actually. But it's Milne who is striking the ball now, pulling it away to mid-wicket, and he's not going to get 4 because it's fielded on the boundary. Just get a single. Livingston doing the fielding on that occasion.
This is a death of 1,000 singles at the moment, isn't it?
It is a bit, yes.
Adam Milne, what's he been doing? Well, he made 10, didn't he, at Chesterley Street?
Had a good 100.
He had a brilliant 100 with the ball. 10 wickets at 14, but he's got to do it with the bat here. That's pulled by Seifert. Is going to be fielded. Well fielded too. Why is that Will Jax down there? Yes, it is.
Yep.
At deep square. Restricts them to yet one more. Death by singles, as Jason dubbed it in his lemony T-shirt. Which we've been
T-shirt?
admiring.
Excuse me,
Not
this
T-shirt, I beg
this
your
has a
pardon.
collar on.
Hawaiian shirt. Oh,
great
dear
catch.
me.
Great
Adam Milne
catch.
has looked to reverse sweep, and he's reverse swept it straight to Moeen Ali, who has said thank you very much, It's one more wicket. Milne
Fielding at
has gone for
first
2.
slip. It's a cracking catch, huh?
Well, it was, I'm afraid.
Clean
Let's
with
have a look. Yep. Tried to be possibly too clever. He goes for the reverse, top edges it. Moeen Ali. He did have to raise his arms away to his right-hand side. But it's a wicket for Rashid. It's a catch by Moeen Ali. And it's another one down for New Zealand, who are grinding to something of a halt here.
You silly little boy. What on earth were you playing at? Oh!
Doesn't really matter what he was doing with 100 in the ball. With the ball, it hasn't done him much good in Manchester in T20 international format, and he has gone for 2 as Adam Milne. We're watching it again. You just wonder sometimes: is the reverse sweep the right choice?
The way Harry Brook plays it, yes.
Well, yes, but Adam Milne, with all respect to his batting, is not Harry Brook.
No.
It's the end of the over. It's 95 for 7. The target's 199. It's a long way away. Lemony man.
The porn bot says, "Is Jay sub-editing worm porn?" Question mark.
We might be.
Jay responds with, "Maybe this is short man paranoia, but if someone is 6'6", can he really be called baby-faced? I'd be talking to his nostrils."
Well, I'm 6'5", so I can call him what I like.
And Animal Size comes back and says, "I've been rather MIA recently due to work craziness, so this was the first I'd heard of Giant Yadav coming in, but sounds like a good addition.
Yeah, I think so.
We've been lacking in frontline attacking spinners for a while."
And he did all right for Warwickshire at the end of last season when he came in at a similar time for them. Gus Atkinson back into the attack. He might have a wicket first ball because that's been completely mistimed. It's gone up into the air. Surely it's going to be taken by Josh Butler. Yes, it is. He came running round from behind the stumps. The ball was up in there. That must be a first baller, isn't it?
I think that's got snow on it when it came down.
Did.
It went a long way.
It'll work, but more likely rain probably in Manchester. But I don't think I got time to play his jingle. I'm not even sure who it was. Who was it? Who's just gone?
Southie? No.
No, it's definitely not Southie. It must be Seifert then, is it? No, he'd already gone. It went anyway. He hooked it up in the air. Josh Butler took the catch really well in the end. And
no, it could be Seifert.
It is Seifert, yeah,
because it was the end of the over, so the new batsman doesn't have to face then.
Well, he's cross with himself. Is Seifert? Atkinson has another wicket. Short, up in the air, high into the Old Trafford sky, and Josh Butler did well, judged it superbly to do the rest.
You say superbly, but there was a very last-minute extension.
Well, he must have called it. Being the man with the gloves.
Atkinson was a yard
and
away.
Atkinson was a lot closer.
Well, I think the telling point is that landed pretty much in the middle of the pitch, and no, Atkinson, who's running down the pitch, has had 10 yards to run, and Butler's had 30, and he still managed to get
39
there in time.
off 31. Seifert. Oh, that's been pulled
gone.
by Southey as he got in it all the way. No, it's dropped short. Will Jackson is who's coming round from deep mid wicket. They will get a couple for that. I thought for 1 minute he hadn't got enough on it. And he hadn't got enough on it to get it to the boundary, but neither had he got enough on it to get it as far as the fielder. And Southey is off and running. No, I was literally about to do it. I was poised over his jingle.
He's so pretty, that's him Southie.
Atkinson in. Oh, he's got hold of this though. He's absolutely launched this high and handsome over the square boundary for one of these. Some shot that. Absolute belter of a shot.
Not bad for your first ball.
Second,
yeah, I think.
Runs required are now down to under 100.
They are.
Two wickets remaining.
I'm trying to think of Atkinson's run, and we'll wait for this ball. That's on middle stump. It's given LBW. It had been turned round the corner.
I think he'll review this.
But it was. Do you think he got some bat on it?
No, but I think he'll review it.
Oh, they surely not, because it was absolutely plumb. Absolutely, he has reviewed it.
The Oracle has spoken, Mr. Jones.
It's the last wicket. I mean,
it is the last. Well, that's true. I forgot they were 103 for 9. Yes, 96 needed off 38 balls, 9 wickets down. It's going to be another Old Trafford pummelling, I suspect, for New Zealand. Did he get anything on that? I don't think so.
Oh, poor Hendo won't get a ball by ball tonight.
Oh yes.
Morning Moore.
Oh,
yeah.
possibly. Yes. The Morning Morkel.
The cocked wrist as he comes in to run. Yeah.
To me, he does look like a cartoon character. There is no ultra edge, merely the clattering into the pad. The pad looks to me like it's
in front
slap bang in front of off. Had he got just outside the line?
Might be umpire's call on outside. Yeah,
Pitched
in line.
outside off,
In
impact in line, hitting. The review is lost. The New Zealand innings has collapsed in a horrible, shapeless heap. And England have won this game once more by a street.
95 runs. Does that beat their last?
No, they've still got one more to come.
Oh, they've still got one left.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, they'd already put the 9 up for the wicket.
I
That's what
apologise.
fooled me.
They've still got Ish Sodhi to come.
Rumours of
good.
their death is slightly exaggerated by me.
Sorry,
96
my fault.
or 30.
I
Yeah,
misled
you
I
did
misled you
mislead
there,
me.
Tony.
Sorry, not Ish Sodhi. Lockie Ferguson. Ish Sodhi's already out there at the other end.
He is. So it's got to be wee Lockie,
Yep.
the beach bum in his headband. And his
Surfer
black shoes.
dude.
The surfer dude in his black shoes.
Who certainly isn't babyface like Tim Southey.
No, indeed. He stepped right outside of his off stump, did Southey, looking to work it to leg. Atkinson, I think, was pretty sure. It's another wicket for him.
He must be enjoying international cricket.
Well,
Is
it
that 3 wickets?
seems pretty easy. Yes, it is.
3 wickets.
It's been going beautifully.
Chance of another one.
Well, let's see what he's got this time. He's in and he's got it! Ferguson's stay was as brief as it could possibly be. He's gone middle stump first ball as an attempted Yorker. It was fuller than that.
He missed a full banger.
England have won by 95 runs, which coincidentally was exactly their
Was it
margin of
really?
victory in 2015.
No, right.
There
So they've
you are.
equalled the record then.
So they've equalled their win there in 2015. Remember, they'd also beaten New Zealand in the very first game here in 2008. They won that by 9 wickets. Old Trafford and T20 internationals does not a happy marriage make for New Zealand, I'm afraid. Lockie Ferguson.
He went miles to the leg.
He was literally
He was like a crab.
halfway across the Pennines, I think, making room to play that. Well bowled young Gus. 2 in 2 to finish for him. That's quite some effort, it must be said. Ferguson went for naught. He lasted less than a minute. And England have won this by 95 runs, and it has been, well, frankly, chaps, a mauling, hasn't it?
It has. A very good very good performance by England to sort of rub home the advantage they generated from the first T20s. So here we go for Sunday.
Well, indeed, he's finished with a 4-fer, has Gus. 4 for 20, 1 for 18 for Sam Curran, so that's 5 wickets for the Surrey boys. 1 for 16 for Bryden Cast, 2 for 18 for Adil Rashid, none for 9
Jack's
for
got one
Moeen.
as well.
Sorry, 6 for, you're absolutely right, 6 Surrey wickets. So it's Surrey with the ball, Yorkshire with the bat, and it's been a sorry tale for New Zealand and a very happy one for England. 1 for 5 for Jacks off his 1 over, and 1 for 16 for Liam Livingstone. Pick of the batsman for New Zealand, well, it had to be Tim Seifert for his 39. Glenn Phillips chipped in with 22, but once Rashid had got him, it was a very, very sorry downhill slide. 15 for Mark Chapman, and then the rest of the batting order from Mitchell downwards. 2 golden ducks. 2 golden ducks. Mitchell was one of them. Santner made 8. 2 for Milne. None not out for Sodhi, who never actually got to face. 8 of 3 LBW, he went to Atkinson, and then Lockie Ferguson at the end there bowled a full and straight one from Atkinson again. And we will move on to, where are they on Sunday?
No,
Is Trent Bridge on Sunday, is
Trent Bridge, I think.
We'll be in Sydenham anyway. What are we worried about?
We'll be here in Sydenham.
What are we worried about?
Yeah.
What are we? It's been a huge...
You'll be.
And a good weather forecast at the moment. So.
We'll see, yes. Anyway, Lemony Man, do we have some more messages?
Couple from Jay Grover. He says, Tony, you made a conscious effort to support Watford? Respect.
It's not a conscious effort, you know.
And he's also...
it's in the blood.
He's having to go at the porn box saying, no offence, lad, but I was born into nematode porn sub-editing. Have we got anything on YouTube?
I'm gonna love you and leave you.
You're off to your supper, aren't you?
Yeah, I look forward to seeing
Hopefully
you
not
on
the last one.
Sunday.
We will look forward to that.
Okay.
Thank you, Bones. Let me just check YouTube on Jason's behalf before we all cut and run. I'm sure there is probably something. Yes, indeed. Get in, says George McPherson. What a massive win for England. In fact, it's mainly George. It's been a one-man show on at the end on YouTube. But Chief Wardo has been with us. Harriet, of course, has been with us all night and made a generous donation. But it's all over here. And just one final reminder to remember our friend Ravinair. Any donation you make to us, if you include the message Ravinair, we will donate. Not only will the fabulous Warren double up your donation up until it gets to $400, but the money will all go to the Sugar and Spice Cat Rescue.
Speaking of Warren, he's given us one final tweet.
Oh, right.
He says, refreshingly, Messi Jess has missed the GPL by 2 runs yet again.
Has he?
Yep.
That's twice as bad as it was last night.
Yep. He's getting worse.
Well, I was going to play the fabulous new jingle that was done by Jeff in memory of Ravinair, but I don't know where the bear has put it.
Yep. Might
so
be
sadly I can't. It's not in theme tunes, which would have been the logical place, wouldn't it?
Not selected in play. It'd be
No, it's not. So sadly I can't play that one for you. We will, I promise, play it again on Sunday because it is quite lovely. And for now, it's a very good night to you.
Goodbye.
Guerrilla crickets. Whoa. Guerrilla crickets. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just